some vaccines take like forever between the 2 shots.
My personal second dose was like 5 weeks after the first one.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's the content.
No!
Oh,
my fucking god.
What a blunder.
The tradition continues.
Okay, whatever. You guys fucking heard the intro. That's good by me. Anyways, how are you guys doing today, boys?
Good.
Good.
Hell yeah.
How's
I'm
everyone
glad
else? We chilling?
Yeah, we chilling.
We trying.
This is the first episode in a good while that we didn't have any webcam, so this is gonna be very interesting. But anyways, I'm happy that you guys took the invite, and I hope you guys enjoy. So anyways, to start things off, let's go with the classic question. How did you guys get into Fangames in the first place? Let's start with you, Karen.
I played Super Meat Boy back when that first came out, and I started playing all the games that had characters in Super Meat Boy. There was Aquaria, Jumper Game, and a couple other ones, BVV. And then eventually I just came over to, I Want to Be the Guy was on there. So I looked at the original game for the first time, and I saw it kind of had like non-linear gameplay where you got to pick which path you went. I'm a Metroidvania fanatic, and that was actually part of the appeal. And I saw it had like all the characters from games that I grew up playing because I'm old and crusty. And I checked it out, had fun with it. And then a while later after that, I found out about Fangame. I forget how. I think I was looking for I Want to Be the Guy on Twitch when I first came to Twitch, and that's how I found Fangames. I found Kill the Guy, which was my first Fangame. And then, after that, it was over.
Really nice. So you weren't a Justin TV guy. I always thought you were a...
Nah, I mean, Justin TV, I think it might have still existed, but I think they were separate still at that point. And they had Own 3D was still around, which was the competitor, which I had. I was over there for like very briefly, but I have an MMO background where I used to do work for MMO sites, and they made me move from Own 3D to Twitch to do some stuff for them. So that's kind of like how I ended up here. And I started streaming, I guess, because I was a League of Legends player with terrible luck. Kept getting levers and AFKers, and my friends never believed me. So I had one of my old guild members works at Riot. I think he's still there, and he never believed that my luck was that bad. So I started streaming to show him, and that's kind of how it got started.
That is pretty nice. And I assume that after you joined the Fangame community, you basically started racking the viewers, right?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, back then it was a lot different. There were a lot. I mean, there were streamers, but I mean, most of those guys are gone. I mean, Geezer's still around. I mean, a lot of those guys are still around, but they don't stream.
Right.
But I mean, I met Geezer and Shadow Link playing Kill the Guy, and then inevitably ended up. Yeah, 10 shots. Then I had to play Bashi, which everybody like pretty much had to do.
Yes.
It's a rite of passage. You're a bitch unless you're the Bashi. So I made the mistake of playing that on hard mode because I Want to Be the Guy on hard mode, and I thought that was the default. That took a lot longer than it was supposed to.
Yeah, that's Anuj's bread and butter. It's fucking Bashi. Yeah, he always comes up with the fucking Bashi question these episodes. Yeah. I don't know if you guys even know each other. Do you know Anuj?
I've seen him in passing on Twitch. He stops by and stuff. I don't know him like. Yeah, I don't know him like super well, but I mean, we're acquainted, I would say.
Okay. I can vouch for him.
Yeah, really nice. Yeah. Jestre and Anuj are an unbreakable bond when it comes to Overwatch. But
it's
nothing
true.
else.
It's true.
Oh, I didn't know you guys are Overwatch buddies.
Yeah, that random time when we came to your server for the fucking Overwatch, that was fucking crazy.
Oh, right, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I saw you guys in there. I was about to join.
You're welcome to use it. I don't mind if people are in there hanging out. I actually prefer people in there hanging out. Makes it look like there's stuff going on.
That's really nice. But yeah, no, Anuj is your token Boshi Tard. So
Yeah. Wait, this Super Meat Boy thing is actually really interesting because it came up in one of the other podcasts, and
it did.
we
Yeah.
couldn't think of. I asked if I wonder if anyone's ever played fan games because of Meat Boy, and here we go. There we go. Someone's done it.
Yeah, I
actually
mean,
really
yeah,
cool.
that's kind of how I found I Want to Be the Guy was boy.
Yeah, I remember playing Meat Boy, and I never thought about playing the games from it. That's the only experience I had with I Want to Be the Guy before fan games.
I
It's
do
cool.
like how you mentioned the kind of Metroidvania aspect of the original guy, because I think that's like it. The world structure in that game is kind of really specific and not really how basically most other fun games kind of do it, especially nowadays. Like fun game and the early fun games tries to emulate it, but I do think that there is this kind of world building to the original guy that's maybe a bit lost, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's
yeah.
kind of like you have those games where there's like a hub, and then the levels branch off of the hub. But yeah, I mean, that game did it a little bit kind of like that, but different. But yeah, that was part of the appeal for me, is that it was
Yeah.
non-linear.
Like I do like it when the world suddenly, like there are games that have the worlds that kind of split up, but what Guy does is that the world, like paths, then connect back up in places. Oh, I'm stuttering a lot for some reason.
No, you're fine.
And like I think that's really cool. That like there is the kind of what is it the warp to the road to the guy, where you need to
I
kill
love
all the
that
6
part.
bosses, and you approach that both from the left and the right. And I think that's
Yeah,
kind
that
of really
shit
cool.
is genius. Yeah, I love that part.
Yeah, it's actually it's a good game.
People have only tried to replicate the I Want to Be the Guy hub, and that's as far as it goes. And that's where actually no, I was gonna say that Run the Marathon is kind of in the same vein with like how there's like older games and shit, but it is a linear game, so.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess coming back to the origin story, I guess I remember that back in the day, Para, you used to do speedruns with the wannabes or whatever the hell. I think that used to be a
Yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah, I've speedrun a couple fan games. There were some races we used to do, like Churach and whatnot.
Oh yeah,
Those were
dude.
great.
Yeah, that reminds me of the fucking wannabes, dude. They have to like fucking write like a literal formal email or whatever the fuck to try and join the wannabes back in the day.
It was very serious.
It was very serious.
I mean, the team is still there on Twitch, but it's kind of on Twitch that they have neglected the
Made
team
it
feature.
useless, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like there used to be like a follow all button, so people would promote the team, and then everybody would passively accrue follows from other people streaming. And I have no idea why they got rid of that. And then
Got
they
rid of
started
that?
introducing, they started introducing like features that nobody cared about, which
That's fucking
that's a
stupid,
different
yeah.
topic altogether. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of a
Even-
shame how it's been overlooked.
Yeah.
Even like very recently, they moved the team button like even further down on the page, so it's
Really?
even harder to find. Yeah, I don't
Oh,
know.
well. But yeah, no, that's cool. Fucking the speedrun days. There used to be a lot of things back in the day. Like fucking bingo, fucking Den's speedrun shit. Yeah, there used to be a lot of good shit back in the day, and I do think that you joined in like right around that time.
Yeah, well, I mean, you also have to put it in context that Twitch during that time period, like speedrunning was like the way to like grow your channel on Twitch was speedrunner. This is before there was
absolutely.
chatting and all this other, girls licking microphones for 12 hours. I mean, like the whole site has changed. So people stream and they want to grow their channel, and speedrunning was a great way to do that. And fan games are they were inherently entertaining to watch. So it was a great avenue for a lot of people to like grow their channel. And, we have a lot of people who got their partnership doing stuff like that on the wannabe.
I've actually always wondered, Para, like you weren't really into speedruns back in the day, but so how did you get your partnership, if that was the case?
Well, it was
You were the
actually
guy.
Denfarak who suggested I try to get it because he was the first one to get it.
Okay.
And yeah, I don't know. Back at that time, I mean, Kale was a very active streamer at the time. He was running Bashi a lot. I think he probably had the world record time.
I miss Kale
And-
streams, by the way.
Yeah, Kale he was a great streamer. He still is. He just doesn't stream that often.
love-
It's just very
Yeah.
rare.
I loved his
But yeah, I mean,
Crimson
what?
runs.
yeah, I used to run Crimson and Bashi, and I just remember at the time. I mean, I was playing a lot of Meteor Stream at the time too, and when the guy who does the partnerships came to my channel, I showed him that. I told him I was going to show him something he'd never seen before, and I showed him that, and he was like, "You're right." He's like, "I've never seen anything quite like this." But yeah, I mean, it was basically Den kind of nudged me to try to get it, and Kale helped me out a lot, which I'll never forget. I mean, Becky used to raid me
Oh,
all the
that's really
time
nice.
after his Bashi run. But yeah, I mean, when I got my partnership, I had only had my follower count was only 1,000, which nowadays that would be like unheard of.
Yeah, that'd be
But I mean,
crazy.
it's not your follower count that is even relevant though. I mean, anyone who has tried to get a partnership knows that you have to try to maintain triple digit viewership, for a certain period of time. And yeah, I mean that's pretty much the short version of how that happened.
It's fucking crazy to think about the contrast between back in the day getting partner and like what fucking Wolfie and now fucking tried to go through to get partner in the first place. There was
I
a lot
was
of
denied.
fucking yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
everybody gets denied. I was denied, and I wrote them, and they're like, if you think you have a reason why we should take you, let us. They always say that in the automated email, and then
Right.
I wrote them back, and I like yelled at them. I was like, I'm not like a 12-year-old in my basement. I did MMO. I basically tried to leverage my my MMO stuff pre-Twitch and explaining that because I have actually interviewed the developers of League of Legends. Like their
Really nice.
creative, I don't know if he's still there, but like their creative director and stuff. I've interviewed a lot of MMO people. So I mean, I kind of used that to leverage my position that like, I'm not just like some random kid, like, because they get barraged with that shit all the time. But yeah, now the goalposts have moved, and even when you do get between the goalposts, they move them again and deny you. It's
Yeah.
really weird, like what they do.
I'll never forget the fucking BBF incident. He got like literally 200 viewers at one point consistently, and he just got fucking denied. It was just fucking crazy.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Now
Yeah.
also got like absolutely destroyed. He did that whole month of history or something like that.
Right.
Event. It was like he had like so many
Oh
viewers.
my
during that entire
god,
month.
dude, that's so fucking sad. Yeah, no, he
Yeah.
went through all of that shit, and I won't lie, right? I won't lie. I've also tried to go for like this road to partnership thing with my speedrunning challenge. That got me viewers. I won't lie, that got me viewers. But like I didn't know what to do after the fact, dude. I got to K3 and it was like, all right, this game fucking sucks dick. I'm not playing.
Yeah.
I'm like, all
I
right,
feel
dude.
like that's the thing about going for your partnership is, like, we all know that if you play fan games, your viewership's going to be higher. I knew that too, and it's like you just have to eat the dick. You have to like
Yeah, you
accept
It's
the fact
fucking
that
heartbreaking. It's
you're
heartbreaking.
gonna be
Yeah.
playing things that you don't want to play for the sake of viewership, and you got to do that until they give it to you, and then after that you can go do whatever you want, and that's obviously what I do now. Is I just
Exactly,
do
yeah.
whatever I want.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised at the amount of people though, like who do get their partnership. They do put themselves through that, and then they get it. Then they continue to make themselves eat that shit every day, and it's like, bro, you got it. Like, you got it. You don't have to do that anymore. Like they don't take it away from you.
Oh my
But, like,
fucking god.
just once you get it, like relax. But in
Yeah.
BBF's case, I really thought they did a real injustice with him with how long they denied him. I mean, he had the numbers. He was the world record holder of a very competitive and very popular game. He was at GDQ multiple times, and when he ran Bashi at GDQ, it was like some of the peak viewership over the whole event, and like it was inexplicable to me, like how they kept denying him. And I used to talk to him about it like all the time. I'm like, I'll help you write a letter if you want to argue,
Yeah.
like why you should, because I wrote a letter arguing for myself. But yeah, I mean, it's very frustrating. But also now with the way affiliates keep getting new stuff. I mean, even yesterday there was a thing where they're giving affiliates more stuff. The difference between partnership and affiliate on Twitch is very small now. I mean, you get the check mark, and aside from that, I don't know if I could really tell you many other differences. I mean, you get the same
There's
emotes,
not
you get
many.
pretty much. You get the same sub thing. I mean, it's not like a huge difference at this point.
Yeah, no, I agree. something that I noticed as well from partner streamers is that after they get their partners, they just go fucking all out. They go to like their own games. They go do the shit that they like.
Yeah.
And then you see
'Cause
them
it's
have
like-
like 30, 40 viewers. They don't give a shit, dude. They got partners.
Yeah, it's because it's
Fuck it.
like when you're grinding for partner, you have to say if we're playing fan games, you have to play fan games and you have to play the popular fan games. Like if you want to get the most views, K3 is sadly just gonna get the most views.
I know. You fucking remember the day when Red Iron got fucking partner and he never streamed again? I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
He literally
played
never streamed
K3
again.
He played K3 consistently for like 3 months straight until he got partnership, and then he just quit. Which is just fair, but it's like it's just annoying that that's the case.
He's out.
He got his fucking
Yeah,
check
but-
mark, bro.
yeah,
I
He's
don't know.
done.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you could get a nader if you really tried. You just have to literally just have a face cam and play K3
Yeah,
for 3 months.
I don't
and you get
fucking
it.
stream, bro.
But- Yeah,
play,
but that's the thing.
Gotta grind it like every day, man. Every day
Yeah,
you're on there,
every day.
hours every day. I mean, you know, I've been streaming like it'll be 10 years coming up, and I stream like 6 to 8 hours. I mean, it's a fucking grind, man. It's a fucking grind. You gotta like really put your ass into it. And some days, people get emotionally exhausted. They, I don't feel like dealing with people. And like I work before I sit down every day, so sometimes I'm in a bad mood just before I even sit down, and it's like. And then, the Fangame community chat can be
That's a whole
kind of
nother
special
topic,
to
dude.
interact with. Yeah, so
Yeah,
Like, come on,
it's really
it's
crazy
rocky.
what you.
that's why.
No, it is crazy what you do, Paragus. You're there every fucking day streaming. Even I can't imagine what it was before when you were
Yeah,
grinding.
I don't know how the fuck you do it. I'm gonna be real with you,
Yeah.
bro. It's fucking
It's
crazy.
really, it's
man.
actually motivating. Cause I need to. I'm a lazy bitch.
Yeah. We're all lazy bitches. We can look over to the fucking Fangame streamers that left us, man.
Yeah.
Fucking Wolfie in chat right now. Oh.
Well, the thing with a lot of those guys too is I'm older and I'm in a position in my life where, I kind of have my own business. I don't have to go to school, so like, I own my own place. Like, a lot of these guys are younger, so they're still in the process of getting their life together. So they can't really afford to spend that amount of time that consistently, while you're going to school or while you're trying to, get your life set up. So it's like if Twitch had existed when I was like in college or high school, like I don't know, man. Like I'd probably be a wreck right now.
You'd be truffer, yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's like if you actually try to take Twitch as like a paycheck, if you try to take it seriously in kind of like a living way, it's
That's just a bad idea for
it's
anybody.
like,
to do that.
like what you're probably below, dollars per hour. You're making sense.
I know some people like that, and it's just like I don't get it, dude. Just live your life, bro.
You gotta have a real job.
Just go stack boxes somewhere and make more, and then
For
stream
real.
all the
That's
time.
what ours does,
Yeah.
and he
Yeah,
gets
yeah,
bucks.
yeah.
It's true. All right. Well, anyways, I guess that's a wrap for Paris Origin Story. How about you, Jestre?
So, excuse me. So I actually found fan games through the fighting game community.
What?
Fighting community.
So
I think-
it must have been 10 years or so ago now. I don't remember the exact timeline, but I used to love watching like Evo, like the old school Evo tournaments for fighting game stuff. I don't know if you guys are familiar.
Yeah.
It's every summer. Way back in the day, though, it used to be.
Wait,
like,
is this a flow
out of
story?
control. It's a flow story.
No.
Wait, Jestre, what?
So
Just what game did you watch? Like mainly, what was the main game you liked to watch at Eva?
whatever
I'm
was
curious.
the popular Street Fighter at the time.
Okay, that's what I like to hear.
And yeah, so that was like a really fucking poppin' community back in the day. Like guys were betting money on the side and getting into fights and screaming at each other. Like there's some you can watch some YouTube clips stuff, but basically one of the guys in there was I think EG Flow, which was Evil Genius
Classic.
crew back then. And I watched something of his and him playing games, and then I just looked him up on YouTube for something, and there are videos of him playing Boshi. Obviously, it all goes back to Boshi.
Yes.
And he was really funny and would like have great rage moments that were just legendary, that were actually like probably one of those things where people are like, this is a rage game, like because
The classics.
you know. And I believe his YouTube videos were actually just captures of his Twitch stream. So that led me to Twitch and the Fangame category as well. And I ended up, I mean, I think I'm subbed to Para for like over 9 years or something, so I've probably been watching him since close to the beginning. And same with Stonk. I watched those two guys primarily back in the day. And I think I started watching Stonk speedrun Battle Kid.
Oh my
Uh,
god, it was back then. Holy fuck.
and when
Those
he
were some
like,
special streams.
and I remember like I think he like threw a book across a room one time.
Oh, the tails,
And
bro.
something else,
Oh,
Yeah.
the
like a lot of
tails.
things got broken. There were a lot of loud noises, and I was kind of a jackass. Well, I'm always a jackass, but I was more so one back then. And I was like, and I didn't really know, how to handle the Twitch atmosphere sometimes. And I would tell Stunk, I'm like, dude, just fucking chill out. What's your problem? And he'd be like, fuck that. And we got that all worked out. But and then Pear was great because he would just stream every game from the wiki.
Yeah, he would download every game from the wiki every day.
And that was the fun of it, because you got to see,
Everything.
from the trash to the treasures. And
Really bad ratio, unfortunately.
bad ratio. And I don't know if I was really. I think I may have then probably got started really playing fan games. Maybe when I was watching Stonk try to beat Piano, actually in K3, was when I really got into them more. And Stonk's stream back then was so amazing because it was like 120p. And it was just him grinding that and I was working at a bottle shop part-time, just like trying to get my life together from moving and stuff. And I would just put Stonk on the side when it was like dead in the store and just watch him play piano and grind it over and over and over and over
Yeah,
again.
the
And
clip of him clearing it is
it's
iconic.
epic.
Yeah,
It's a Coom moment for sure.
it is.
And then I want to say, actually, I definitely played Bashi right after watching Flo play it, and I played it on controller.
Oh shit! All right.
On an Xbox 360 controller, and I never beat it back then. I made it like 2/3 of the way through. The problem with that was that's how I continued playing fan games mostly, was on a controller. And I found that it definitely gave me some disadvantages that I only learned a few years ago when I switched to keyboard.
Only a few years ago. Shit.
So,
Wow.
and I mostly use the PlayStation controller. And I think 360 stick or D-pad, I use D-pad, Wolsk. I could never use the 360. I'm a D-pad
That'd be weird. That'd be
sucker
very weird.
for stuff for mostly like even Metroidvanias and stuff if I'm using controller. And but I think one of the first fan games I took seriously playing was I Want to Go Across the Rainbow.
Okay.
Good game.
And it took me at least 5.5 hours to beat, I think, if I
That's
remember
not bad.
correctly.
That's not bad, yeah.
And that also kind of got me interested in needle games, and I like kind of this. I don't really play adventure fan games that much, because I'd rather just put a needle game on, play it with a stream on the side, and not worry about anything else going on, kind of thing.
All right.
And that's how I mostly played games back then, and that was my thing. And I guess that's about it for the origin story. But yeah, from the fighting game to the fan game community. That's how it went.
Don't you think you still play needle games and watch streams on the side, even nowadays, or is that
Yes,
long gone? Really?
I do.
Okay.
Actually, don't tell my boss. I play more needle games at work than at home.
I knew you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say that.
Because I have some, dead moments. It's like a job where if I get shit done, I have some free time.
Right.
And
In
yeah, go ahead.
you like it's everyone like when I stream during the day, everyone in my chat is from as at work. They're like everyone's at work, so it's not just you. It's like literally they all just have dead air at work and they're watching the stream.
Especially now, a lot of people working from home. I'm actually
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the office, but yeah, I also did most of my game making at work probably.
Bro, I bet fucking Flav is watching the stream right now at work.
It's
Or
sad,
fucking
eh?
making elevators and shit like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's fucking cool though. I actually wanted to talk about this. This is gonna be the next topic. Wait, fuck, what was it again? Oh yeah, right. From there on out, right? From there on out. When did you start becoming a game maker? And did you start using fucking like record my jumps, JTool, or fucking straight to game maker?
RMJ first, yeah, for a little bit.
Okay.
My big thing is I do not know how to code. I don't care to learn. I'm very lazy about it. I'm like a boomer like Parrot. Like I work a full-time job, and in my free time I mostly end up wanting to play games more than make them, more than learn any of the deeper stuff. To my fault, of course, but I started RMJ, and then infamously JTool.
Okay, so you didn't go into game maker yet.
No.
Okay.
It was shortly after JTool probably, just because for someone like me, like I just said, like JTool gave me the ability to make something quickly. But I also love that there was a JTool to GM program where I could
not
import my
Grandmaster.
screens.
Okay, I see. I'm
So
drunk
that
right now.
really helped. That really helped me for like my first 2 or 3 games when I was just doing some pretty simple stuff.
Okay.
First game I'm not too proud of, but I made it in a quick amount of time, and for its time, it had some interesting stuff in it. So that I like, but a lot of balance issues, like really bad balance issues, and
Actually,
and then I made a 32 pixel only game, like a jerk off. But it was literally it was just because I wanted to put a confine on myself and try to. And it's by far my worst game.
Did you release it?
Yeah, it's released.
What does it mean?
It is. I want to be the limp noodle.
Oh my fucking god!
Because that's kind of felt a little limp, It didn't feel like a good effort, obviously.
Okay.
Someone said, the best part about this game is the music. Like the visuals are too bright. Everything's trash.
Apparently, I'm looking on Delphi. I gave this game a 7.5. I must have been sponsored.
No, you were not sponsored.
Literally fucking bribed.
Well, it's and
Kurath pretty much wiped his asshole with it, looking at the review.
Right.
Which is making me laugh right now.
That may have been like one of the first times I read something by Kurath too. Yes, but Wonderful was correct that I really like restrictions in game making after that point. Or not like some sort of structure that I have in my mind ahead of time that I would like to go through. Some type of Fudo Lover wasn't a fan. That is tragic.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's like KO does the same thing where he bases his game off an idea that he has,
Right.
and he just like so it's a good
So,
strat.
and, to me, like that comes from like I did art. I went for art education in college,
Cool.
and my game making is kind of similar to my art in that I was never very technically proficient, but I would kind of have a theme or an idea and stick with it from there, and work within those confines to find something interesting. But then I kind of got sick of stale needle, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Pure needle, I guess they call
From the looks of it, it looks like actually
so
no,
that was
I wouldn't call this a J tool needle, but it's on
it's
that
basically
vein.
J2 needle, yeah,
The
for sure.
visuals are really nice for this game. I
So
actually like them a lot.
Noodle Loon 1, Limp Noodle, and Noodle Loon 2 are all just standard, nothing's moving. Needle puritism. And actually my last save in Noodle Loon 2 was probably the most disgusting thing I made and released. And I
Fuck, I don't think I remember
I
that.
felt really, really bad watching like one or two streamers. Can I talk about the game I released with DevTools? I don't. That probably happened like 3 times by accident. I don't know.
That was impressive.
I used to really fuck things up. I mean,
A
I
lot of
still
people
do.
did that. Geezer did that with Nang.
Yeah,
Nang. Yeah.
it's the worst feeling too, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But that's similar to, yes, like I was watching some people like really struggle on this screen, and I felt like a shithead. So I actually nerfed it quite significantly and re-released it, but didn't um put any notifications for anyone that a change was made for some reason. Uh, so it's easier now at the end. And then I decided to mess with triggers after I watched Stonk stream some game making. Actually,
Okay.
I don't remember the game he was working on exactly, but it was like
I think
he
I know
just
what
had
you're talking about. It's like Descend or Ascend
he had like a
69.
real simple way that I could see of working with triggers, and I was like,
Mhm.
oh, I can pick that up pretty quickly now. Let me mess with it. And that's kind of where Noodle Loon 3 happened. And it's all invisible triggers, which is kind of shitty. In some ways, and I have some asshole traps.
I remember.
It's my longest game. You tested it, Nader, and you gave me the best notes that
I remember. I remember that day, Jestre.
ever
I
received.
remember, dude. I I fucking remember this until today. Fucking I think I took 6 hours of my day to give you feedback. I don't know how the fuck I did that. I'm not
You
gonna lie to
had
you.
like a screenshot. And,
I gave you the
things
juice, bro.
pointing at this, that,
Yeah,
you.
there was no excuses anymore. I gave
It
you the
was
juice.
great. No, it was fantastic feedback.
Yeah, thank you. Man.
And I took some of it. Just kidding. I took most of it. But then I really only had a few testers, I would say, still, which might be to my detriment. But actually, Geo and I also collaborated in a game in between that time.
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
Hugh Sazmans or whatever.
The Akas Amon. I want to be the Akas Amons, the most Kale, close your ears. The most pretentious
Oh.
title ever.
Oh.
Because it's Latin for needle lover. It's so lame.
Oh my fucking god.
And that was the first collaborative thing I ever did. And it was very difficult, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because like it's like Geo makes one save and then you make another save, right, or some shit like that.
So so again, we went with the idea of having a theme and sticking to it pretty much. And it was 10 screens, 5 screens where we designed the sprites, the background, the music, we chose all that. So then it was only 2 saves per screen, I believe. Maybe more, or I can't remember exactly, to be honest. But we alternated saves then throughout as well, no matter what. So it got really tough to balance something like that. And Gio's stuff was usually a lot harder than mine. And I struggled with, he and I struggled with, like, I wanted him to nerf more things a lot. And he kind of was like, suck it up in a lot of ways. So we fought on that a lot. And I remember, I think I even said at one point, like, listen, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm either going to make this the way I want or I'm out, kind of like, it's difficult sometimes. And in the end, we figured it out. I think his saves still are more difficult, and he would probably agree. I also shadow nerfed something of his.
Whoa!
Right,
You don't do that.
right.
You don't do
What
that.
the fuck?
I did it right before release. I did it like right before release, and he caught it.
Oh shit! I mean,
like,
anyone would catch that. Anyone would catch that. I won't lie. Did you roll over, bro?
It was because it's an animation dependent Apple thing, and I was like, don't do it. And I was like, I'm just gonna move it over 2 pixels, no big deal. Yeah, he caught it immediately. So it ended up staying in the game. So, but in the end, I have always liked collaborating in a lot of ways. Again, like going back to doing art and stuff in college, I was a big fan of kind of working together with other students and artists, and I've done some other collaborative stuff since. I worked on Discord Makers NA side, which is kind of an all over there project. It's like just like do whatever you want. Don't worry about cohesion or the difficulty range is all over the place. But I actually I'm really proud of my stage in that game. And I think it has some really, really interesting content in it that may actually still get overlooked.
Which game? Sorry, NA side.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I remember you stated that was good.
Mostly. Oh my god, who was it? Was it Durf's stage?
Right.
Or sorry, I can't remember the people that were in the game I helped make.
There was Durf. There was Wolf.
Yeah,
there
I
was
think it was
Bonk,
Durf's.
etc.
I think Durf's was my favorite, actually.
Yo, sick emo. What the fuck? Anyways, sorry.
But anyways, do you take questions from chat?
At the end of the show, bro.
Yeah,
Alright, well, whatever.
yeah, wonderful. Definitely the easiest. But yeah, I mean, I could keep going on about games and all that.
No, you can go ahead. It's fine. We got time.
I paid Para to play Noodle in 3.
I would believe that. I would believe that.
A sponsored stream, we say.
He
Bribe.
tried it when it first came out. He was in a miserable mood. He made it through most of the first stage, and he was like, "Fuck it, it's shit." And then I paid. I tipped him $5 or something. I'm like, "Hey, why don't you play this if you got nothing else going on?" You're like, "All right, fine."
I think I was there for that, bro. I would never misremember that.
And then I made Augment the Loon's Noodle, which the theme was stages that grow over time, kind of in their size, and that was another way to give me a kind of challenge on each
I like that
stage,
game.
a little different size thing. And I also I decided to combine invisible triggers with visible ones. Because all invisible triggers is kind of dickish. Let's be real. Unless they really flow well.
We've seen it yesterday, bro. Yeah.
It's a good game.
And that game was well received and continues to be, which I'm happy about. And then I reached out to some of the homies, and we made Hydra homies earlier this year.
Log.
And that was another fun collab with some of my favorite makers and friends in the community. And it was Catharsis water based. Nothing too fancy, but yeah,
Really
that's
nice.
about it. There you go.
You talked about not really being like even interested in coding.
True.
Do you think like I Wanna Maker could somehow tie into that if you maybe just joined much later with like Maker already existing? Would that grab your attention instead?
I'm sure I would have. Yes, I probably would have been more interested in Maker if it had come out when I first wanted to start making games, for sure. The problem maybe though is I don't know if I would end up actually making a game then, because I Wanna Maker is almost too good in that respect.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
A lot of people fall into that trap.
And I wouldn't want to be that. I'm like kind of glad in a lot of ways that it didn't come out earlier. Because I think there's a lot of people that only make stuff in Maker, right? I mean,
I think the
Yeah, I mean, you make something in Maker though, it's lost in a pile of 100,000 levels.
Right. It doesn't have your own individual sample.
It's a whole different community, bro. It's a whole different.
I think I'm not. I've kind of lost track of the Maker community, but I do think that the I Wanna Maker to Game Maker pipeline hasn't really been much of a thing. Like that,
right.
I can really only think of like Iron X making a stage for another needle contest too.
The on KHXA guy, like that's from Maker as well, right?
I'm not sure. I think it's possible.
He made a banger for Night too.
Definitely.
But yeah, Jestre, we got 2 more questions regarding the game making topic. We actually are curious how you got your needle style set up, because like when you started going for what is it, needle loom and shit, and like from there on out it was like it was pretty much the same style from there on out.
Right.
Where'd you get the style from? Or was it off the grid, dude?
It goes back again to art that I used to make, and I always enjoyed a more minimalistic style. And I found playing some as Paranos. Actually, a lot of needle games had fucking terrible visuals.
Okay.
Like just like all over the place. Way too busy, in my opinion. So and I couldn't focus on what I really wanted to, which was the platform, the gaming. So I didn't really want to do that ever. And the actual style of needle, I have no idea where I got it from. A lot of my stuff, I don't really know how other.
You've never really thought about that, is what you're trying to say.
For the most part, I'm very like So I told you I kind of have that theme or that confine in mind going into a game, but after that, a lot of it is super super loose, and maybe just fiddle around in. I would fiddle around in JTool a lot, and then I would take that and take a screenshot, put it in just MS Paint, and then I would draw where I wanted triggers to happen from there.
That's interesting.
and label. I have some really like messy sketches
Yeah.
of screens I would make, and then have all these arrows, different colors, and okay, if I was Noodleloon 3, I was on like, okay, trigger number 173 on this one or something. This screen.
I think you sent me a screenshot of that one screen where it's like four.
yeah.
It's like four. What is it? Rows or columns? I don't even know what they're called. But like it's like four
Yeah,
fucking
I
things of
saw
like filled with traps and shit. And, like he gave me a sketch or some shit. It was crazy.
Yeah. So that's kind of how I ended up with more of the trigger style. That's how I do it. I still don't do a ton in Game Maker. I don't.
You just know how the triggers work.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have inspirations is wonderful.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah.
When I first started getting more into needle games, I just started downloading every game that I heard was kind of decent. So I don't know if they really inspired me that much, to be honest, because looking back, most of the games are kind of trash nowadays. One was like a like 400 screen, 200 screen. I don't know what it is. What was it called? Like I want to follow the needle of a needle follower or something. What?
Way of a needle following forever or some shit like that.
Yeah. Gab knows. Yeah.
It's
So I played
extremely
games
long.
like that a lot. I would say Kale for sure, obviously. I actually really liked his needle, lazy needle.
I like Lazy Needle too.
I thought those were really interesting.
It all comes back to Kale, dude. That's
it
what
does
I'm
kind of.
Every time.
It kind of does. And people should never, forget that Kale is. I don't know. I don't want to get on the topic of CN3 and Gimmick Needle and all that, but he's the grandfather of Needle.
Grandfather Needle. Yep.
He's the grandfather. He's the grandfather of new Needle.
He likes to say he's the grandfather and the
I'll
father.
say that.
He likes to say he's both.
He pats himself on every back that he can find.
To be
For sure,
fair,
but he kind of deserves it.
To be fair, after CN2 and his fucking Vine usage, every single Needle game started using the Vines the same way he did.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, he did mention that.
Fair, what level of CN2 are you on?
I gotta check my paper.
Can you check your notes?
Yeah, check your
Quickly?
cheat sheet.
I think it's
bro.
8. I think it's 83 still.
It's somewhere around 86. I don't know.
I was actually about to say that, or mention that Crimson Needle, always like fucking. There was always like a bunch of streamers going at it for like a race, like every single Crimson Needle. And I remember back in the day when Para used to stream Crimson Needle 1, and it was like the fucking hot shit. Everyone was stuck on this one screen. Fucking Geezer was stuck there forever. Para was stuck there forever. Like it was a really fun time.
I kind of do miss, and I know Para will say this as a streamer too, but as a viewer,
Yeah.
I feel like there were like big moments when certain games got released. Like when Geezer played through Cultured 2 and got to like the boss that was not nerfed, Para.
Oh my god. I remember that.
And the X stage for the first time. Like, holy shit, it was amazing.
Yeah, he beat that boss. He beat that boss in like 15 minutes. Something. And he spent
no joke.
And he spent like 5 minutes just being an asshole, turning the screen upside down with the special effects, just joking around.
There was no save afterwards, right? Wasn't that part of it too? In the unnerfed version? There was like no save after the boss through the chase.
I thought you were talking about the avoidance. The avoidance.
No.
The avoidance, he beat that in like 10 minutes cold, like no problem. But yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah,
but that's a different topic altogether. But like, yeah, I was not involved in the difficult side of that game, so I'm washing my hands of it. Although when I saw what they had done, I told them that my recommendation was to do something about it, but I didn't know because it was out of my.
Hiddo really sprinkled his devil's sauce on it.
His balls.
But
Yeah, I
yeah,
understand.
when 9.2 came out, everyone was playing that. It was sort of like a race as well. There was like
Right.
10 streamers constantly playing that game. It was really cool.
Now, it could also be that there weren't as many like decent makers in the community back then, let's say, or
Yeah.
really good ones. I actually feel like there's a higher number of better makers around now, even if they don't make something we enjoy, than there were, way back when. So like these releases were bigger than ever, and the community was younger and probably more excited about them as well, I guess, because it was something fresh. And I think that's part of the things that now we've seen a lot, right? Like we've seen so many iterations of the genre of fan games that it's sometimes tough to be wowed anymore.
I agree.
A lot of things have changed over the years.
Right.
Yeah, so like that would be. Can you imagine a second K3 just like happening under basically any like conditions? Like, could a game
There will
come out
never be
that's like
another.
I think a big part of the problem is that everyone is so much better now as a player. The skill level of
Yeah,
the
I
average
don't think that
community
is
member is so fucking
Also
high.
true, yeah.
I
When
think
when
that's
K3 first came out, there was a race to beat the first boss of stage 1. And like that was a big deal. Like oh my god, you beat the first boss? Holy shit.
Yeah, it was
And-
fucking huge.
yeah, and like that was, you got to realize that like stage 1 of K3 was like the fucking cutting edge of skill at a time in this community. And now like nobody even thinks about that. That's like whatever, dude. Like it's the skill creep is so out of control.
Yeah, I
That,
do think that
like
there is some kind of.
now like you have these guys making games at their skill level, which is fine, but that
It's like-
skill level is so far beyond what like if you just walked in the door today, I mean that's like you're not gonna fuck with that. I mean it's like what used to be like 70 difficulty, it's now like 50 difficulty. You know what I mean? Because it's like where everybody's at now.
I don't know how you get around it. It's like an inevitable thing that just happens
Yeah, yeah,
through the
it's
nature of,
Yeah, I mean there's no solution to it. It's just that people have to remember that where they're at and where the average, I don't know, like where a newcomer would be. Someone,
Right.
I don't know. It just depends on, like, I've always, my philosophy is I've always wanted to see the community get bigger, to get new people in, and to attract viewers and players alike. But like when the games get so ridiculously hard that it's just, to me, it borders on stupidity. Like the things that people have to do to challenge themselves, that you're just alienating so many new people from coming in that it's like it's not helpful long term for the community growth.
I do think that there's some kind of like, it's like even hard to kind of understand the top level of difficulty anymore, because like back then with K3, you asked, like, what is the highest level of like, what are the hardest fun games around, like, and people would point to you to Boss Rush, which even though it wasn't like the hardest, it was really difficult, and like everyone knew what it was. Whereas now, if like I don't really know what's considered the hardest. Like,
Well,
I
I
agree.
And
can
it leads
name-
into the it just leads
I
into
can
the
name
other
some
topic
names,
too,
but-
though. Like, is something that's harder like that always funner? And like you have to balance the difficulty versus the fun. I mean, for some people, that's it. Like the harder it is, the funner it is. They always want to challenge
Yeah, like-
themselves. They want to push themselves beyond their limits. But then, like
Fun
a
games
lot of those
have a-
games, when you turn them off, you don't even remember the name of the game like a day later because it like wasn't fun or memorable. It was just hard.
Like fun games have a real tendency to like glorify difficulty, right? It's basically their most obvious appeal that like this is the world's hardest game, etc., etc. But like and so you can really easily present Camellia 3 and a bunch of other games as like this kind of some of the hardest games ever kind of clickbaity content. You don't present El Needle as like that because it almost stops being appealing because you just don't understand it so much.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I'm not implying that difficulty, fun are like mutually exclusive. Like you can have both, but I feel like that a lot of people in the pursuit of difficulty get about like what makes a game fun, and like you have to remember like it's like when you're playing Maker and you walk into some room made by like some gimp and it's like 27 downward plane jumps in a row, and it's like that's hard. But like, is that like fun? Does anybody want to really spend their time doing that? If you do clear that, I mean, you don't. I mean, I guess maybe you feel good about yourself. Maybe. I mean, I wouldn't.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like at what point you have to remember? Like, I don't know. I just feel like it gets lost a lot.
Have you seen the Needle Hall of Fame spreadsheet, Pear? Have you heard about it?
What is that? No, I don't think I have.
Yeah, it's a spreadsheet dedicated towards really hard challenges like Fly the Faraway Deathless, this game on Impossible mode. They're like trying to push the fucking limit of like the player's skill, right? And they have the players who beat it, the times they beat it, and like it's all there. And it ties into this conversation due to the fact that people do enjoy going for these hard achievements just to have their name on there. I don't know.
I have no issue with someone wanting to complete a very difficult challenge, a game, etc. Obviously, why would I? But I guess like the issue with skill creep in the end is that if most games coming out are of such a high difficulty that you can no longer attract people new to the community from it, that gets difficult,
Yeah,
but
that's hard,
there's such but the great news on that fact is that there's such a great library still of 10 plus years of games, right?
Mm-hmm.
that do work well for a new player. So I don't know. It's a difficult subject to get into sometimes because it's very subjective. But the community, I mean, when I started looking at playing or getting in fan games, I was like, ooh, this looks like an interesting challenge as far as platforming goes. So myself, that's what I looked for initially, for sure.
I think that's also
I think a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
I think that's a thing with fun games that like maybe I think when you first kind of get into them, it's mostly like kind of the more wacky aspects that kind of stick out.
True, or
And
trap
then-
games, things like that.
And then
too.
as you kind of get into games, you kind of realize that it's like just the core gameplay can be fun to you, right? So even though Needle isn't as flashy,
And that's
you
how you
just
get
kind
into
of
Needle,
accept
yeah.
it that like it's a fun pastime.
That's how people get there. But yeah, no, fucking there's a lot of fucking resources nowadays where people can get their games from the get go from when you're a beginner. You have like these fucking websites.
like FS.
Yeah, you
yeah,
got
like
FSR, you got fucking the Pat website. You got like everything. So if like a new player ever comes in, they're gonna be like, well, actually, okay, there are some beginners that join in on the IWC that are like, okay, dude, I'm playing K3, right? I'm playing K3. How the fuck do I do the first screen?
For 12
Yeah,
hours.
how the fuck do I do the first screen? There's either like that guy or like the guy who's like interested. Hey, dude, what games are out there?
That is really sad, actually, when I see someone that's like, I've been playing the first level of K3 for 1,000 and...
I know a fuck ton of people like that.
Admittedly, there was a guy like they've been around for a year and they're pretty active in the IWC, and then they played something, I'm not sure, like some intro fun games, and then they started playing K2, and then they beat K2, and then they started playing K3, and they beat K3, and like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that
My next
fucking...
question, Nader.
Bro,
Next
I was gonna go there.
Let me go.
Alright, go ahead. Take the stage, bro.
Alright, Just.
What's up, buddy?
Do you want to tell us about the lost USB incident?
Alright, you
What's
go
this?
ahead. I'm gonna take a piss.
Sorry,
It's like-
what Is there an incident that I'm? What are we talking about?
Yeah, it's
The
about Jester's latest game that's been lost.
My lost USB game.
Yeah,
You made a new
That's
game?
one of our topics.
I've had a new game made, except for like a few screens, probably, to be honest with you. And
Okay,
I start
like recent, like very recently.
no,
Oh,
but I started it 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half. I don't know, a year ago. Wait, when did Rona start? Last year, right? I started
Yeah.
it. I had a lot of it done a year ago in the summer or in the spring. And like I said before, I mostly work on games when I'm at work because I had a lot of downtime. And Corona hit, and I had everything on just the USB drive that was plugged into my work computer. And basically, one day out of nowhere, the bosses pulled us all together and said, "Okay, you guys are just gonna have to go home right away, and we'll call you and let you know what's going on eventually." Like, what? Uh, so the USB drive was in that work computer. Then I got laid off of work, so it sat there. Building was shut down. Everything. Students were sent home. I work on a university. Students were sent home. Everything was locked. No way back in the building. No reason to be back in the building. I was laid off. Couldn't, anything. And that pretty much went on for months and months and months before I got called back to work. And I would say it was about 8 months that USB drive sat there. The game I was like ready to release in like a few weeks, maybe.
was it big?
No, not necessarily. I may have had intentions of making it quite large though. But it literally like shattered my motivation.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally
And
understand.
so actually Nader played what I had finished the other night.
It looked
But
good.
yeah, so that's kind of the thing. Like I finally got it back, and I ended up working on a little more nerfing this and that. But I just like totally.
You had
I
nothing,
didn't
right?
know
You
if I
ran out of
wanted to
gas.
release it. Then I was running on fumes.
Yeah.
Like I still really want to release it, just because why would I have spent all this time to do nothing with it? But pretty much Corona may have killed my video game, so that's sad.
I mean, you could probably still
Maybe
figure it
one
out.
day I could
Yeah, I think so.
take
Too.
care of it.
Yeah,
I have a lot of time off this winter, so maybe I'll wrap it up then. We'll see. But I actually renamed the Game Maker file in the folder, like Lost USB project, at one point.
Wait, so ever since I played tested it, did you do anything with the project or no?
No. Hell no.
That is
No,
unlucky.
no.
Who knows, bro? Maybe it'll get up there in the fucking Needle Game of the Year.
No.
It might.
Fucking initiative.
But I do miss, working on stuff sometimes. But I've been enjoying playing too many other video games lately.
I mean, yeah, that's what fucking majority of the Fangame people do nowadays. They just don't even play Fangames. They just go to either like an
Yeah.
FPS game or a fucking, MMO
I mean,
or whatever.
Might be a reason for that.
Yeah.
Well, I think it points back to my earlier point of we've played so much and seen so much, right? Us boomers, especially, they've been around a long time, and it's like, do I want to really play another so-so fan game of Joe Schmo and it's like level 45 Snore Needle or something?
I still look at Delphoot every day
Oh,
because
I do too.
and
I love
I'm
looking at
hoping
it.
I'm gonna see something, but then I see things and it's like half of them are avoidance, which I don't want to be bothered with, and I think a lot of people probably don't want to be bothered with. And then as a streamer, I tend to like not want to play like Needle too often. It's just not that interesting to watch unless And basically,
Right.
if I'm streaming Needle, it's more like just chatting. Like I have to talk through the whole thing to make it interesting.
Right.
Some days I'm tired, I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
But then you see like the medleys, and it's like, oh, some guy made a new medley, and then you click on the thing, and it's like a picture of a boss rush. It's like, all right, we're still doing that. Like,
I like to download stuff off of Delphoot that I have like no idea who it is, or it's an infamous asshole or something, and I'm like so curious sometimes just to see what is there. I really enjoy that still, that aspect of Delphoot.
I feel like it is actually kind of interesting. Like, I think there is a disproportionately high amount of avoidance that comes out.
There's that guy on Delphoot that tags everything avoided, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he did like 500 of them one weekend.
I'm gonna say it because everybody else is probably too nice, but that guy's a mental case.
Wait, who are we talking about?
He's a big
Wait, do we
tagger,
do we want to
that's-
name names? Is that?
I don't remember
Cheekers.
the name.
It's
Cheekers, the
Cheekers,
Cheekers
yeah,
or
yeah.
something. Man, how are you just sitting there at your computer going through 10,000 fan games, tagging them as avoidance?
The
Like,
funny thing is that he doesn't like. He kind of gave away his shit. He doesn't play them, and therefore like give it the
He
avoidance
just
tag.
tags
He
them.
checks the wiki tags, and if he sees it has avoidance, as soon as he gets on Delphi, he gives it the avoidance tag.
That is
So I
impressive.
just saw So I just saw his bio and it says, if I have misplaced the tag, please contact me and I will remove it.
This guy's a fucking businessman. This guy fucks, dude.
He's a businessman.
I think it's probably the opposite of that, but we'll agree to disagree.
You know that guy that fucking works as a film critic and he like fucking rates fan games as a
Cochran.
as a
He's,
fucking AAA game, dude.
He's been a regular viewer of my channel the last 2
Oh
weeks.
really? Nice.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
He's
honestly.
cool. He's a
He
great
is,
guy.
he is a great guy. He's harsher, but he's pretty fair on his reviews.
I
Well, he's
respect- I
harsher
respect
because of his
his-
background. You know, like he has a different mentality about everything.
No, yeah. Honestly, if I see a Cochrane review, I'm not even looking at the numbers. I'm just looking at the review.
Yeah, yeah.
Very, very low in
Really
reviews.
good at writing.
Yeah,
Did you ever
he's
look at
really good
his
at writing.
movie review?
Oh fuck
He
no.
has like 1,000 of them on some website,
Shit.
and he's extremely detailed and watches
Yeah,
really
yeah,
obscure
yeah.
stuff.
It's probably
Really good.
Letterbox or something. One of those.
Yeah, he is like a fanatic reviewer apparently. I don't know.
It's funny that you guys talk about how every new game on Delphi is either needle or avoidance. Because like I played this game for classic was called I Want to See the Pink Road, where it's just a game. It's just 3 bosses and 3 trap stages. And it's
Like an
like
old
you're
school
never gonna
game.
see. Yeah, it was like 2015. You're never gonna see a game like that go on Delphi. And me being new, it's just sad that there's no games that are just like going to be
You won't-
adventure.
Yeah, you won't see those
most of the
released a
time.
lot
That's
nowadays
why,
for sure.
That's why I loved when back in the day people used to just go on the wiki and just like download straight from the wiki, because
There's no, you have
there's
no
juice,
like,
dude. There's just
right? You have no
juice.
reviews. You have no idea what it could be unless you know the maker, right?
Yeah.
That was the fun of the old Paris streams for sure too. This motherfucker had no idea what he was getting into every
It's
day.
like, you know, like it's like the gold rush where they like pan for gold in the river. It's like you're doing that, but you're like doing it under a sewage pipe, and it's like just day after day after day. Then he's like, all right, I'm gonna stream fan games today. How many new ones are there? 8. You download all 8. You turn on your stream, and 12 minutes in, they're all in the recycle bin, and it's like, what the fuck do I do now?
How the fuck
The
do you
bin was
keep it
very
up with like?
famous.
Yeah, how the fuck do you keep up with that for like 2 years or some shit like that, bro?
That's why I just.
No,
Yeah.
you
That's why
had a lot
that's-
of viewers. I mean,
Yeah, I did, but that's why I diversified
Popular.
my channel a bit. You know, it's like it's like back to what I said earlier. Like I got the check mark. I don't need to keep doing this if I don't want to.
Right.
Like if something good comes out, I'll play it, and people will always come watch it if if I'm playing fan games and it's a good game. You know, like a good trap game is like
Oh, it's
primo Paris
amazing.
stream, like primo. But yeah,
there's
it's
still
just
some trap moments of yours that I like will not ever forget. Like
Oh
the,
my god, the fucking
like
YouTube
the wonderful Douglet trio.
videos. That was
Wasn't
not
that-
wonderful. That was a gay wizard.
Who was that? Was it the wizard?
yeah, it's a game wizard game. The
Oh.
Dig Trio.
The Dig trio.
Bro,
Amazing.
Your fucking YouTube videos, dude. They were fun. Oh my god. I can go on and on with that for days, dude.
Dude, the
fucking
Swamp
classic.
line. Damn, that shit was fucking awesome.
The fucking swamp.
In What was bigger penis? Yeah.
Yeah, penis. Yeah.
Holy shit.
I think that got you like a lot of views as well, Per. I don't fucking remember, but like bigger penis does have like people's attention. I'll tell you that much.
This is an
It usually,
amazing
yeah,
game.
bigger penis
Yeah.
usually does get
Yeah.
people's attention.
Yeah, he's got a point.
Yeah, there's big dick in the video game. It's true.
And there you had a game made by a guy who had like never really made anything before, and like here it is years later, and we remember it now. And like it wasn't a particularly hard game, but it was an entertaining game. Now, how many like level 75 difficulty games have you played that this far out you remember even the name of them?
Brewers, dude.
Exactly. So it's like sometimes the focus should be on other things instead of just making it hard for the sake of being hard. That's just my argument.
To be fair, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but like I have barely played any fan games this year. I probably played like a handful.
Same, yeah. Not
And,
too many.
Yeah, I mean, it's like once a month maybe.
You know
Something
what?
comes up.
I'm inspired. I think I'm gonna make. I want to be the biggest dickus.
All right, figure it out, man. Figure it
All right,
out.
let's go.
I do have the
I'm excited.
I do have the contest games. I have the 2 from last week. I guess I'm assuming 2 came out this weekend as well. Like it's so they'll be good for streaming, you know, in batches or something.
Oh, are you talking about
There-
the tournament?
There is
shit?
Yeah.
there is a new game that I played yesterday. Actually, it's really funny because we were like talking about how like Delphinair has it, like has like great games like this
Uh-huh.
again, and this one only came out on Twitter. It's by Para. You know this guy is the guy who made I Wanna Be the New Sankakun.
I just downloaded that today off of Twitter.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's such an amazing game, dude.
But like again like these games like I was being kind of crabby a couple weeks ago, but like these games need to be on Delph. Like same with the contest games. Like
yeah,
they
that's
should be,
unfortunate that they're not on there.
because not everybody is like super jacked into the I want a community disc. Like I'm not, because I don't want to fucking go in there unless I want to make Skull Dude suck his own dick because I have that screenshot.
True. That is true. I remember that.
But like you know, not everybody's jacked into that. So like, you know, it's like a lot of casual community members go on Delph and look, and unless you're like, you know, immersed in the drama and the Discord and stuff, like you're not even gonna know those games exist. Like I'm sitting here now and I'm looking at Delph, and I can see that I guess Wacky was Arts' game from last week. But
Power,
I don't think one. I have it. And I have Wonderful's game because someone gave me the links directly. But like, I don't think his game.
That's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But I would just say that like you got these guys who put their games out on Twitter. Like it would be nice if they would put them on Delph.
Yeah, I think the tournament games specifically, like there is kind of they always have the like week where they are, you know, this week's games for the event, but after that they basically go back to the creator's hands. So like after that they are free to put them on Delph. So in that case, at least I would expect most of them to end up on Delph.
Yeah. I'm surprised that Power isn't on Delph. I imagine Wonderful forgot to post it on the wiki.
She said on the weekend.
Was the fucking Sankaku game released on the wiki as well, or just on Twitter?
No, just on Twitter so far.
Oh, that's fucking.
Yeah, I was looking for it because I saw the tweet and I was like, oh, I guess I'll go on Delph and grab it. And then I was like, nope, not here. I gotta go comb over my Twitter to figure out who said it. Yeah, because not everybody follows, especially like the makers from the Eastern community. I don't follow them. Some of them are like tweeting maniacs, so I can't take it.
Yeah.
I don't need some guy like spamming like tweets every 12 seconds with his lunch and stuff. Like, you know, just on the off chance he might tweet a fan game that he's making. So use Delph, please.
Bro, what happened to fucking Blue Fruit? Is Blue Fruit still a thing? Or no?
No.
Shot?
Oh, blue
I
fruit.
think Blue Fruit got taken down because it was obsolete. Because of like the new wiki or something.
Kind of makes sense.
Oh yeah, true. Because
Like I
went
used
to
that it basically existed to fill the gap. But yeah, like when was Delph is like 2015? Like I think we're quite blessed to have gotten Delph. Like I guess we would have been using the wiki without it.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to imagine what would have been.
All right, so what else do you have on your sheet? So you have a whole list of stuff here.
Oh yeah, hold up. Let me try to fucking. I had a topic in mind.
Well, we're an hour and 20 minutes in here, and I'm not even sure you even scratched the surface of what you got.
I don't know. We went through half of
We're
it.
like halfway. We're like halfway.
Yeah. Okay. So here's a good question actually for you, Para. One of the co-hosts is actually very curious about this. Why did you get attracted so much by the older long avoidances games, like and the Rainbow Miku and shit like that?
Well, Rainbow Miku had HP,
Okay.
I think. They released, so that was like kind of fun to play. I went through actually that was kind of about I think where I probably popped on avoidance. So I'm not saying it was a good idea because I did. I mean, the Meteor stream was always a goal of mine because it was one of the first things I saw on Twitch.
Right.
That was like always like my fan game destiny, and that's why I was so happy when I beat it.
Who
But then
did
I
you see
did.
play in Meteor Stream?
I think it was Styx, honestly.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
Styx played it for like because Styx used fan game occasion. And then I did the Rainbow Miku thing, and then there was the Roman game, which was a fucking nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
You powered through that shit, bro. I remember.
And that I kind of lost my shit on. After that, I kind of tapped out. I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Oh my goodness.
The final.
I never beat the I think the fourth Rome. There was like the last
there's
Roman
a
fight.
fourth boss.
I never did the fourth one.
Yeah,
But I mean,
that's like
they
the
were
hardest.
fun. They were fun because you had HP, and they
They
were
weren't
like
like
kind of
crazy difficult. It was more like an endurance than.
Yeah, they were silly and like fun to play with the HP, so I kind of like that. But now the avoidance is like spawn in the middle of a room, and then a wall flies out of the right of the room and eats 80% of the room up, and you're dead. And it's like, all right, well,
Classic.
what? And it's like, how long is this? Like 4 minutes? And this is the first 6 seconds? Like,
Yeah.
fuck this! I'm not gonna like grind this shit.
I always thought I would like avoidance fights because I really like playing shmups, but never could get into avoidance.
And then you're gonna get.
It's
Then there's like a
hard.
50% chance you're gonna get copyright struck because of the song the guy used, and then you're gonna put on
Nowadays.
YouTube, and it's gonna be muted in 12 different countries, and it's like you don't even get that anymore. It's like, fuck it, man.
Have you ever gotten a fucking copyright strike, Para?
No, I haven't. But
Mm.
I've been scrubbing. I had to delete like all my VODs when the DMCA thing.
Oh my
came out.
fucking god. Yeah, no, I deleted my VODs, my clips. It's all gone, bro.
When I play fan games, I will after the stream I'll look at the Twitch VOD to see if their audible magic or whatever flags anything, and if it
Right.
does, then I just delete the VOD. And if I upload it on YouTube and YouTube says something, then I delete the Twitch VOD because I just don't trust their protection, honestly. And I know
Yeah,
there's
Twitch
like
is
things
weird
you can
about
do
it.
to split your audio of your stream and stuff. But I mean, I play like a lot of games in a given stream. Like I don't just play the same thing like all stream usually. So like I really don't want to like mess with splitting my audio and putting it back together. And
Right.
Yeah, it's annoying
Yeah.
for sure.
Alright, so here's the follow-up question to that topic then. Do you still enjoy those games nowadays?
what like Roman in them?
Yeah, like Roman, Meteor Stream, the
I
classics.
would never fucking touch Roman again.
Well, yeah, no, Roman's a different fucking story, bro.
Meteor Stream, Meteor Stream is fun just because like it's entertaining to watch, and I just kind of like to see if I remember it all.
Nostalgic.
Yeah, it's nostalgic. I mean, it's as a strong personal meaning. But I mean, you don't see me like streaming fan games just to play those games.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Not really.
Do you think Meteor Stream, if someone was playing it, is it bad if they do it blind or they know what's gonna happen? What do you think?
It's not my place to judge, honestly.
Yeah, see, Anuj here is fucking. He's ready to play
it's on
Meteor
my
Stream
list.
eventually.
Yeah, and I don't. People, I don't know. I'll see.
He's gonna get fucking
It's
shot on.
It's an
could,
interesting question, though.
You can treat yourself and play the randomized version, the Asteroid River or whatever, and get all the attacks randomly pitched at you.
Oh,
Yeah, I
Learn
don't
it
think I
that
want
way.
to.
There's a lot of fucking Meteor Stream mods. There's a
12
lot of
years
good
of
ones.
RNG.
Yeah, there was a streak
Yeah.
there where people were modding it and making funny stuff.
Yeah, there's Donald, there's Piano. I
Oh my
think.
god, the Donald one. Donald one's
I
good.
really miss the Ronald meme games. I'm gonna say
Ronald's stream was pretty cursed.
ran, woo.
It was a good one. It
You
was
would
a
see
fucking
that
good
shit.
one.
You'd see like a fucking McCheese flying at you every other fan game at one point. I swear. Or the Hamburglar.
Oh yeah, that was fucking content. All right, well, anyways, all right, let's get to a new topic here. Okay, so if you guys were to envision an ideal fan game, what would it look like? Let's start with let's go with Jestre this time around.
Like
Or if you guys
Okay,
need time to think, we can just like fucking go
would this be
around the
based?
fucking.
Would this be based on my own preferences or what I think the community would appreciate?
What are you? What would you want?
Yeah,
I would
your
think.
preferences, absolutely, yeah.
Hmm, I would want a 50 screen at the most needle game.
Okay.
100's a little too much. Kale. I'm just kidding. Um,
Okay. Fuck.
but that has like things that Para enjoys too, like a hub element, almost like a back and forth Metroidvania kind of element. Different gimmicks throughout, kind of similar to CN3, but like hyper with hyper production value too.
I mean, like
Okay.
you are like, except for the Metroidvania backtracking stuff, you are describing Vandal. So
Vandal, yeah,
that
true
is
in
pretty
a
much
way.
Vandal,
That's
yeah.
true. I mean, Vandal's one of the best games made for sure. Para and I co-op through it. He beat most of the saves. I didn't. But yeah, I mean there you go. I mean that is for me. That's my ideal game. Maybe it would be something like Vandal then, because it's something I can chill with. I can watch a stream on the side. I can, it has a challenge. It's interesting. Um, Something like Vandal too, because like the graphics aren't real busy. Uh, there's good music, right? I always like a good soundtrack.
Right.
I don't need some like 220 BPM shit pumping in my ear like a lot of the real old Needle games had.
You get that with the scrolling grid, and that used to be a game.
Yeah,
Apparently.
and the grid, you get the
Bang.
grid and the 220 BPM and you're ready. Hit me.
Do a lot
You
of
know?
fucking blow and fucking start doing corners.
Yeah, right. That's pretty much it. That was like a meta for a while.
Yeah, it was like a whole year of this.
That was
community.
2015, bro. That was the entirety of 2015.
That was
dude, I
when
remember.
like for a year or two I would put that in every.
I won't
other,
lie, right?
like,
I
off the
won't
grid.
lie. I won't lie, dude. I made my own fucking grid meta game. I won't lie, dude.
You're a gritter.
Yeah, I was a gritter, unfortunately. And then Para fucking shat all over me, dude. I remember that day.
You probably deserved it.
No, yeah, I did deserve it. And I remember you telling me to go back to the drawing board, and I was like, what the fuck does that mean, dude? Because I didn't know what I
Go
didn't know
back to
English
the
that much
drawing
back
board,
then.
loser.
Beat it, fucko. Make a real game.
And that's how fucking Neon was made, ladies and gentlemen. Any truths?
You need a nudge in the right direction.
I
What's your
remember.
ideal?
Bro.
What's your ideal game?
My idea, it would be obvious. It would be a Metroidvania.
I've been Metroidvania, yeah.
Yeah, and this we've had this because we had talks. I know someone was like, "Oh, C3 confirmed." No, there's no C3. But we joked about like if we made another culture game, what would the format be? You know, it wouldn't be a medley. My idea would be like a giant Metroidvania, like La Mulana scale, like it's really big. But then like the random mode would be like an actual randomizer hard baked into the game. So every time someone played it, the items would be in different places for each player. And then, would have like infinite replayability. And then there's the awkward silence because nobody understands.
No, because
I
here's the
I
thing.
remember La
Here's the
Mulana.
thing.
Yeah, I do remember. I remember people complaining about this game because it was like really cryptic or something.
It doesn't have to be cryptic, but La Mulana is like gigantic. So I would love like a gigantic Metroidvania, and like I said, with the randomizer as a main feature of the game, where obviously the beginning of the game would have to have a lot of openness to it, so acquiring the first set of items would be reachable. But yeah, I mean it would be like really cool idea, and I think it would like whenever a game does like really well in the community, like it tends to spawn like people trying to do more of that, and I'd love to see the community go more in that direction and stop jerking off over avoidances.
Something that I'm very horny for. Something that I'm very horny for is a fucking Magic Tower game, dude. People
Para
fucking
likes that too.
people. have said it a billion times that they're developing or they're making a Magic Tower game.
Right, and it
They're-
never
yeah,
happens.
and like
It's
where the
because
fuck
it's
is
got to be so like
Yeah,
time consuming and
Like,
yeah, it's
difficult,
so
right?
hard
To
to make
balance
a
everything.
game.
Oh,
Yeah,
I know.
it's so hard
I know.
to make a game like that.
Watson's making one, and
Mm-hmm.
but like Watson, he's
We
in
hope
the,
it's not like Omega
he's
Brain, right?
he's on crack, dude.
he's in the he's in the tactical nexus hole with like a bunch of us.
Yeah.
So I mean, tactical nexus is like the most like the most evolved form of what that could ever be. So he's over there in that Discord with like me and Karath and some other guys. And every now and then he posts screenshots of like what he's working on. So like I know he is working on something, but I don't think it's like super far along. Or actually no, Karath said he had something that was very far along, but then he wasn't happy with the production.
Oh, that's
He was
unlucky.
going back to like redo
Oh,
it.
wow.
But I mean, does the community in general appreciate a game like that where you have to think? Or are they just like unga bunga needle jumping? You know what I mean? Like some people get upset when they have to think when they play their game. And they're like, I just want to jump through, needle, brah. Like, it's like, I don't have to think about shit. It's like, well,
So which is funny because like that's where Pear and I kind of differ because I don't want to think about it too much.
I mean, that's fine. I understand not every, you're not always in the mood to like think about it.
Oh, shit.
Because I find my thinking games outside of fan games like that, like I'd rather play if I'm playing an adventure or a long Metroidvania, I'll play like actual games like that for the most part. Well, I don't mean actual game, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I actually have a follow-up quick question for if Para's like ideal game would be made. Para, what would your then ideal difficulty range of that kind of game be according to like the fan game scale that we're used to?
Well, see, that's this is the problem too. Is like people will spend and it goes back to what I said earlier about the skill creep. So
Mhm.
people will like spend a year making a project, and it's like, well, if I
True,
don't,
and then the skill creep kills it. Yeah, you're
yeah,
right.
it's like, well, if I don't make this game hard enough, I'll have to spend a year making a game that everybody beat in a day, and then it's like, then you're wrestling with that, and that deters a lot of people. But I mean, I would like to make a game to be like have appeal to people outside the, so like it can't be that hard. But I mean, there's always like optional stuff you can add to for people who want that. I mean, it's like when you saw a culture.
Right.
There was the difficult for the people who really wanted to have their balls crushed, and then there was the base game, which was moderately accessible to someone who wasn't like a diehard platformer.
I do think that that's maybe like with difficulty recently. I think like skill curves have gotten maybe flatter with time. Like if you think
Plateaued a bit. Yeah.
yeah, like if you think about Not Another Indie Game, that it starts at a beginner level, and then it just keeps climbing, and so like it spans a really wide range. And I think I've come to realize like just that it can have like a really strong impact. With like you can put a lot more time into a game if you are like depending on how invested you are. At least in my case. Like there are a lot of games where technically I could beat them if I just spent the time, but because it would be a grind from the start, I just don't have the motivation. But then like personally, I recently finished Crimson Needle 3.
I mean, I agree with you completely, and I'm in that boat a lot. And it's not just me. Like a lot of the guys like Geezer and Zerai, and a lot of these guys I talk to all the time. Like we are capable of beating these games, but like, do we want to commit the amount of time required to do it? Do we, and would we like be sitting there enjoying ourselves while we do it? And when it's over, would you look back and be like, yeah, that was time well spent? Like the answer is no, it wouldn't be, and that's why we don't. I mean, I know I can beat like a lot of hard stuff that comes out, but I mean, I'd have to sit there for a while. I mean, that's how I compensate. I have old man tenacity. I got to spend a lot of time on it, grind it down. I mean, like I'm playing Jump King right now. Like it's the same thing. It's taking me a lot longer to beat it than it would other people, but it's like same thing with fan games. The game's like level 75 difficulty on Delph. I know I'm capable of beating a game of that difficulty, but do I want to? Do I want to come home from work every day and sit here for 5 or 6 hours grinding fucking trash ass avoidance or some ridiculous boss rush or whatever? And it's just like no, like I just don't want to do that. I could do it, but I choose not to.
Yeah, do you fucking remember when Geezer had to deal with fucking Zinchrome in Maker, dude.
Oh yeah.
And then he spent like fucking
course.
2 or 3 days.
Hey, he left his computer on and the game on it, hoping like the power didn't go
Yeah.
out.
That's what it takes, bro. That's what it takes to fucking go through with those fucking weird ass games, dude. It's just like a lot of fucking commitment for honestly nothing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and then as a streamer, you have to ask yourself, is that entertaining? Like, I mean, some people will get invested in the struggle, sure, but like by and large, are people just gonna be like tuning out and checking back every 2 hours?
yeah,
God, he's
yeah,
still stuck
yeah.
here. It's like, Then you have people making the jokes like, "Hey, Para, like we just had our kid, while you were in the room." It's like,
Classic.
It's also
Yeah, I
something
got
that, like,
Who
just to
would be
mention.
so mean? Sorry.
That's
go
something
ahead.
that you mentioned when you were talking about your game, where you made the last save difficult and you felt bad watching people play that, and like I definitely feel that to a strong amount. Like
It's
some people enjoy like the struggle, but a lot of people, like from like the creator's perspective, you really feel like bad when you kind of see what you're putting other people through. Maybe.
Yeah.
I think if you're a human,
I
there's
find
some
it
people out
really
there that
weird.
just don't care.
I find it really weird the amount of people that actually come into chat and go like, does the maker love fucking making the players struggle like this? It's like, no, dude. Who the fuck does that? It's like I don't get it.
In every single Boshi stream, you'll see a message like that relating to Solgren and being a maker. Or like, oh, he must be crazy.
Yeah, and I think I saw that literally the other day when you were playing Neon 3, and it was like, no, what?
Yeah.
I was like, the fuck, man.
Well, I mean, it's a Nader game, so obviously it's made with.
I mean,
hate
yeah,
in
it's a
heart.
fucking ball crusher, but like it's at least fun ball crusher. It's like, think about it.
I mean, like if
That's my
someone
hope
did,
too.
I'd believe that like Gale is able to derive enjoyment out of
From
putting
pain
people
comes
through.
pleasure.
People say that all the time, and Kale always hates that. Kale always hates that.
Then why put it there?
Kale knows. Well, we'd like to think that Kale knows what he's doing, but he enjoys watching people fucking. Although to be
Nader.
fair, there is 92. Fuck.
Nader, can I bring up something very quickly?
Oh my god, what's up?
One topic of the OFR, and how it gets a bad rap as the oppressive fan game regime.
You know what? I actually thought about having that as a topic, but I don't know if we feel comfortable talking about that. I mean, you can go ahead. I mean,
I just want to let everyone know that if you click on this link in chat, we've rebranded recently.
Yes, I saw
And-
this.
oh my fucking god, Jestre.
And-
Oh my god.
We're
I'm all about good vibes and positivity.
We-
and
we are the most welcoming crew you can ever imagine. We're all about that positivity.
You were waiting for that topic, weren't you, bro?
He had that ready, dude.
You
copied
you have that scripted, man. Oh my fucking god.
So don't fear the OFR. Okay.
At least be
I-
intimidated by the OFR. I mean, come on, man.
Should we segue into Culture 2 development?
I mean, yeah, we can talk about Culture 2 because we were talking about like how you had an ideal Fangame, and like as Pero was talking about it, aside from the Metroidvania shit, what he described is basically Culture 2. There's a fuck ton of like replayability and shit like that.
Right.
And
It's a difficult mode.
Yeah, I've always wondered how the process was making Culture 2 because I remember it was a long fucking project.
Yeah, it was a process. It had a lot of bumps along the way. Sure, especially getting leaked. Was a whole thing.
My god!
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Do we want to go there, bro?
I'll go anywhere. I'll go anywhere you
there.
want to go.
Go, bro.
I mean, I've already talked about all this stuff, but I mean, I don't know. What specifically do you want to know? We'll go from.
I guess the initial process. Like, how did you guys think about how the game is gonna be like? I guess.
Well, the K3 was popular at the time. Cultured 1 was a lot of people I had fun with it,
Yeah.
and it was like we could make a game like that with obviously higher production value, where the title scorecards don't take up 25% of the screen and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was. It's just like the idea of like instead of just mindlessly plowing through levels, like let's make it like a world, where there's a story. You're like in this place, and use the hub as a central point for the stages and optional content. And I don't know, we just kind of went from there. But yeah, halfway through the development, the game got leaked, and the whole second half of the development, I was worried that this fucking guy was gonna like start posting it all over the place. And then there was a lot of drama, honestly. And then when the game came out, there was more drama. You had people making fake alts on Delphi to try to trash the game. And these people didn't think that like I knew who they were, or that like like I knew everything. So like after, I didn't want to like chastise people before the game came out, because then the guy could leak it. But after the game was out, it was all bets are off and like fuck everybody. So that's what I did.
I do remember that like after the guy okay, I guess we can talk about the drama. Let's talk about it.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, so the Fangame Zoomers understand what happened back in the day. So
Thank you.
So fucking I'm not gonna name the guy, but like this guy tried to blackmail Piece of Cheese 87, I believe.
Yes.
Like what? Like for fucking money or some shit? Otherwise, he's gonna like release the game or some shit out of the public. I don't remember.
I don't think he wanted money. I can't remember what he wanted, but he tried to blackmail Peace, or he's gonna leak the game. And
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
back then, the community was like a fucking Wild West, dude. I swear to God.
It's like the Russian
What the
mafia
hell?
or something rolling
What?
in. They're like,
What the?
give us game.
there were like Discord screenshots or something somewhere, like but
I think it was back in the Skype days or some shit, honestly.
yeah, I don't know, maybe.
But yeah, no, like fucking, I think at the end of the day he did leak it to like a few people, and you guys knew who they were as well. I think.
Oh, everybody involved.
Yeah.
And I burned every single one of those bridges the second I could. Every single one.
But yeah, no, that was a fucking Joker moment for sure, dude.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy that actually happened.
You know, there isn't drama like this anymore, thank fucking Christ. But like,
It's a different time.
people.
I mean, there was literally
people
like
are
we
crazy,
joke
man.
about like the fan game black market, but it was actually a thing.
Yeah, it was
It was.
Yeah.
Like I'll trade you 2 apples for a fucking
Fucking Apple shit. Jesus.
I remember that.
That was a whole dark period of
yeah
community too.
yeah dark times.
Fucking hell, dude.
It's amazing.
But yeah, no, I can imagine the fucking headache that went through you guys after, when that shit was happening. And I guess after that, I guess we can talk about the final boss and the amount of times that like you could restructure it, I think.
Yeah, so we had the game like all done except for the final boss for a while, and then it was like, all right, and this is all ancient history, but Xanto was the one who was like gonna make the final boss thing, and he gave it to us, and I played it, and I hated it, and it's like I'm in a tough position now. Like I really want this game to come out because it's been in limbo forever. Like I have a final boss, but I hate it, and it's like, well, do I put the game out with a final boss that like I don't like, and then risk hurting Xanto's feelings? And I've known Xanto for years, and I don't want to like burn the bridge with him. And since we were honest about it, we all got together and we had a conversation, and all the guest stage makers who played it, and me and Peace played it, and we kind of were all on the same page that like this is not really great. Like it's not happening. And then then we kind of made the decision to just throw it out. But we did keep the end part of the fight, which is the current end part of the fight in Culture 2, where it's the screen goes black and then all the old bosses attack you. Like that was actually from the original version of the fight. But the first,
right.
like the initial phase, which I guess is based off of like Undertale style stuff, like that was completely different. It had like all these goofy ass mini games in it. It was like really weird and unpleasant. I don't know if I still have the file for that. I think I posted it before. Like
You have played it on stream before. I do remember that.
Yeah, I mean, it was really rough, and nobody liked it. And it's tough. You're in a project for a long time. You want to get it done, and then you're right at the end, and you got to risk like delaying it further, pissing off your friends. But I'm glad that like everybody else kind of was on the same page with their opinion of it, and that made it a bit easier. But yeah, it was just kind of gut wrenching. But I mean, Xanto was the fucking man. You've played his games. I mean, I love the guy to death. And
Good guy, Xanto.
we got over it.
And that's how the fucking Culture 2 came about. And I won't lie, the final boss is like really fucking fitting. You guys did a really good job with that.
If it were up to me, I would still. There are still things about that game that I don't like that I would like to see nerfed, but like that's an impossibility because the game barely functions right now because it's so big for what the software was it was made on.
Yeah.
But like I like for anybody who plays that game and gets mad, like I personally I still think the spider boss is too hard.
Damn.
And it's just long. It's a long fight. I would shorten it a little bit. I mean, even if we kept all the same attacks, I would just make them not go on as long. And I still feel like the one phase in the final boss fight where you're bouncing off the ceiling and the floor, and he's shooting the balls around the room. I still feel like that is like not great. Like I would like
too RNG heavy.
Yeah, I feel like it's way too RNG heavy. I would like to see that nerfed. And there's like a couple other small things in the game I would like to see nerfed, but again, like it's just not possible because every time we open the hood of that game and change something small, like it was a spaghetti mess, and the game barely works because it wasn't made. It was made before Studio. There was no Game Maker Studio, so I mean that's about as big as a game can be before Studio came out. I think
it's like PUBG under the hood. Spaghetti.
Yeah, I mean, you touch one thing and all kinds of shit breaks. But yeah, I mean, the goal is to have a giant game, you know, with a staggering amount of. If the game is not going to have an ultra high difficulty level, like I want there to be a lot there, so people don't just beat it in a day, and that plus the replayability, the extra modes, which you know was kind of fun in the first game. I guess people don't really mess with it too much. It's like, I was surprised when the game came out and like people beat the game. And then, like, ran right into the fucking random room to start playing it again. I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, people actually cared that much about the 100% that they just marathon play it. So, I mean, I'm glad with the success the game has had. It's been downloaded, like tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of times.
Nice.
And you figure every person who's played it has spent, you know, dozens and dozens. Some people have spent 100 hours on that game. So, I think about the amount of time it took to make it, but the amount of gameplay that has occurred from the tens of thousands of people who played it, dozens of hours, and every person who played it put into it, and I am happy with it. I like I said, I do have ideas for another one, but I don't think it'll ever happen because we'd have to Peace is in a different spot in his life now where he can't do stuff like that. He's in school and working and stuff, and the dev team would have to probably be like it would have to be like a new team of people who are committed to it. And then the other thing is like, would the community even appreciate a game like that anymore? Because I know other people who have projects that they just stopped working on because they just don't feel like the community is in a place where it's worth it. Like Matten, remember Matten, Overlord? Matten?
Classic.
I mean, he used to crank out games like all the time, and he's just like, you know, it's just like people don't really appreciate that. Like Xanto, I know was working on a sequel, and I Don't Want to Be Anything 3. I think it's a large undertaking, and you have to ask if you're going to spend years working on a game. You know, is it like worth it on a community that might not really appreciate it? And then people get discouraged. Who the fuck is this?
Oh no!
Not on the podcast, bro. No shot.
I have to hang up on somebody once a day.
Fucking classic. But yeah, no, I've actually wanted to segue into this because we were talking about Xanto and Matt and Jay. As I know, they've made like one of your favorite fan games So I did want to ask, what is your guys' favorite fan games? Actually,
For me, it's still Overlord. Matten's game, Overlord. That's
really
like
nice.
that's an easy. I don't even have to think about it.
Oh.
I feel like Martin was especially just like a content machine.
Yeah.
Like there were the old short venture contests, which like didn't Martin win like 2 of them just by making something 4 times bigger than everyone
He
else?
made it for a fucking contest. What a game.
The
He made
Kiducha was-
Kajula or Kiduija for it. I'm
Wow.
pretty sure.
That's
and
really
then
nice.
at least one other game was made for a contest.
And that shit was like a month, right? You had a month to make that game.
Yeah, I think that was Kiducha was 2 months maybe, but it's still
Yeah, it's impressive. It's insane.
Every now and then, like a game maker comes along to this community, and you see them make something, and you're like, this guy is kind of too good to be wasting his time here. And he was like, I always felt. No, I mean, you just see like some guys where you're like, this guy should be on Steam.
Steam.
Yeah, they should
You
be
know
like
what I mean?
actually fucking working.
And Matten like immediately struck me as like one of those guys where I was like, his work is too good for to be like wasting it here. And it just happened. I mean, and you've seen a couple other makers who have done that as well, and then they have gone on. A couple of them have gone on to Steam as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, it happens. Just it's a shame they don't stay, but like,
You can't blame them.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have seen what you were talking about with Xanto the other day, like fucking he was producing I don't wanna be anything 3, and then like he realized that like he was working to basically like like he didn't know if it was worth it for the community. And I have heard that from multiple other adventure game makers, especially in the OFR. And it's just sad.
He's not the only one. He's not the only one who feels that way.
I don't remember who, but like there's a lot of people. It's just sad to see because they create the fucking juice, but it's like hard in a fucking needle driven community nowadays. Anyways, needle avoidance type shit.
Well, that's the thing is that the community has moved in a direction away from that kind of stuff. And like me and some of these guys. I mean, I'm still where I always was. I just feel like the community moved in a direction that's far from where I'm at. Like the reason I started in the beginning, like I said, is I want to be the guy. It had all the old Nintendo characters I used to play games with when I was a kid, and it was non-linear. And like, all that's like gone now. Like that's like rare. I mean, there's a couple good like Peace. Every time Peace makes a game, it's always fucking solid. There's a couple guys who like really still get that, but like a lot of the newer makers, like maybe it's like what Jestre said, they don't want to code, they can't, or not, they don't want to take the time. And I get that. But it's just that it's more needle centric now. That's just where we're at.
I think there's like if you look at the the kind of old game references you talk about, that there's only so much you can kind of choose from, and so having worked on the blind adventure race for the marathon, which have basically been following this kind of game reference format, and have been probably like the last regular games to do so. Like we're kind of getting desperate for themes to pick from. You can only do so many Mario references, so I think that may be part of it.
Mario.
Well, I mean, there's quite a library of older games, but I mean, a lot of the younger people, I mean, a lot of the community, the general age is younger. They didn't grow up with Nintendos and Super Nintendos. They grew up with PlayStation 2s and 3s.
Right.
And you don't have that nostalgia to pull from, so that might be part of it. But ask Jestre about his game.
Nostalgia is just changing.
Ask Jestre about his game. I gotta pee. I'm like dying.
Alright, sure. Well, what's your favorite fan game?
Yeah.
So while you guys were talking, I was thinking about this, but I don't know if I'd necessarily have a favorite, because I can think of a lot that are near the top. So I'm just gonna give you 2. One I actually mentioned earlier, which is on the low scale difficulty, still remains to be. I want to go across the rainbow, actually.
Really?
Because not
That's
only
like a
was
lot.
because not only was it one of my more difficult early and first clears, later on, and maybe I'll even try it again one day, but I tried to get through that game in one life. I was grinding it for a while.
Wait,
and
which game? Fucking Rainbow?
Rainbow.
Really? Fuck.
Yeah, and I made it maybe a little past halfway, and
Fuck, that's actually really
I don't,
impressive. No, that's a
I don't
hard
think I
game.
could ever do it, but yeah, great game.
Yeah.
Really introduced me to just kind of decent, pure needle. Let's put it that way.
I mean, that game is like a lot of people's favorite games. It's
Um,
actually like surprising.
Another game I'm going to say though, and I wish I would have said his name as one of my influences earlier, is
Mm.
Hiddo and Magnificent Stumble.
Nice.
Okay.
There's a few things I really hate in the game. I'm not gonna lie, which are mostly floating vines, in certain places.
Don't blame you.
But I think we can all say that this game really had a big influence on the community and Needle as well, almost as much as Kale's stuff at the time for sure. I feel, and it had the style that I love, the minimalistic style. The music was up my alley. The just interesting jumps and transitions and
You feel
some
like
shitty stuff, and
I'm sorry, I just got back. Which game did you say?
I said 2 games, Para, actually. I said Go Across the Rainbow as the game that kind of introduced me in a lot of ways to Needle and things like that, and I said how I ended up trying to play it with one life later on, impossible mode or whatever, and made it like halfway through. And the other one I just said was Magnificent Stumble, as far as Needle games
Okay.
go, for sure. And that I wish I would have mentioned Hiddo as my influence, because I think
yeah.
that game especially is like huge. But yeah, I don't really. I have so many though that are up there. There's so many great, interesting Needle games that everyone knows for the most part too. I just don't want to mention them all.
I assume that like the games that have influenced your Needle style would be definitely up there, and close to your like top 5 and shit. So I mean I can get that. I can also get Go Across the Rainbow being as being your first fan game, being one of your favorites, because like I feel the same way about Galaxy.
Oh, for sure. Oh,
I,
that game
I,
is
I
incredible.
remember fucking. I think Galaxy was one of my first games, and that was like fucking top notch fan gaming, dude. I
Like
still.
Isn't that like remarkable how old that game is, and how
I was
like
gonna say
still to
that.
this day,
Yeah.
like you don't see anything like close to that?
It's like a real game.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
that
it's
fucking
impressive.
Galaxy. I've replayed that game like a billion times by now, and it's like still fucking like top notch, dude, to this day. And it's a shame that a lot of the newer players don't play Galaxy, but because I believe it's one of the best fan games out there to this day. So.
The older fan games are always better. That's why Boshi is my favorite.
Have you
It's
played
also my first one.
Have you played Galaxy, Anders?
It's on. I think it's on the second. It's like the first game on the second challenge. So one day I'll play it.
Classic, fucking second challenge.
Yeah. It's on. It says true end.
All right. Anyways, it is almost. We're almost at the 2-hour mark of the podcast, so I guess we should go to the last topic. Let me see what this is, because I don't fucking remember what I read.
Well, there's 2 topics, but one is definitely
Well,
more
one
interesting.
we've already touched, so I'm down to skip that. Okay. So.
Yeah.
I've wanted to ask Para this. You love talking about growing the community and shit like that. How do you think is the I guess most efficient way, or like the best way we should look at the community? In like a fucking growth perspective.
Well,
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people in the community who just don't care if it grows. But like as a streamer, I'm like invested in the growth of the community, because it's not only is it good for my channel, but it's good for like my friends, and it's good for the makers, because I feel like there's like some really talented people, and like just from my own streaming experience, I find that fan game content, when it's done right, is some of the most interesting and entertaining content you'll find anywhere on Twitch. So I feel like games that are entertaining to look at and watch attract people, And because how many people in this community are here because they saw somebody playing a game? So even like you're listening to Jestre. He
Fucking
saw
Jestre,
somebody
yeah.
playing a game. It's
Right.
a common story for. It's me. Like I'm here because I saw somebody else playing a game. I saw somebody playing Kill the Guy. So it's that's like the device I feel like for getting people in the door. So you have to show people a compelling reason why they should watch, why they should get interested, or maybe even why they should start, take an interest in maybe making a game. So it's just you need games that people want to watch that look like game. Like no, I know the Needle people hate me because I poop on them a lot, but it's just those games don't. I know some people join for them, but they're just not that entertaining to watch, frankly. Unless you're like watching it like a god,
Right.
like you Nader.
Yeah,
You're like if I'm watching the Nader run through Crimson Needle and like an
Kill the
hour
Needle games.
or something. That's remarkable. But not everybody's playing at that level, so I feel like it's important to have like Anu just talking about Bashi. Like, why is Bashi the game? Like, why is that the go-to game? Because when you look at Bashi, it looks like a game. It doesn't look like someone just put a bunch of triangles into a grid. You have like all these interesting looking environments, all these like funny traps. You have all these bosses, collectibles. It's a game. You look at it and you want to play it and you want to watch it because you want to see what's going to happen next. You don't know who's going to pop out and kill you. You don't know what's going to happen. And that's why to this day, Bashi is still like the standard that people talk about fan games. It's been 10 plus years and Bashi's still the big game. Yeah. And even to a degree, I would argue Camellia. The reason why Camellia is such a, aside from its difficulty, but when you watch a Camellia game, like the production level of the bosses and stuff is very high.
Oh yeah.
Like watching like the total fucking chaos of like a Shine and Bright is like you're just glued to the screen because it's like you're seeing these two like video game characters tag team the player. There's all this shit going on. The music's fucking like kicking ass. It's just, and that's what you need.
Can any of us deny how amazingly good Stonk's K3 speedruns streams were?
It's
fucking
yeah,
Yo-Yo,
it's
fucking
amazing.
dude. Yo-Yo's first. Sorry to go like fucking off topic, but like Yo-Yo's first fucking K3 run was like honestly, I was like glued to the screen like the entire fucking stream. I won't lie.
Need
That
better
shit was
shit.
content.
I guess I'm fucked. Now 11 guys are gone, man. They don't want to be bothered.
Yeah, it is what it is.
In Stonk's
It's a
case,
lot.
you're right because like it's one thing to watch some poor bastard sitting in the boss rush for like 12 days trying to piano, but when you watch a guy just manhandle it and he's progressing nonstop, that's entertaining because nobody's getting stuck anywhere.
His world records of that game are some of the most impressive things ever. Like, it had me glued. I watched that shit all the time. And I feel like that's a big reason for K3's popularity, to be honest with you.
It's fun to watch.
Back in the day, like fucking K3 was fucking. It was the fucking juice, dude. So like Stonk, Yo-Yo, and I think there was some other guy like Cake, I think. And like, but like nowadays, if you have like a fucking K3 speedrun, say like me or Red Eye, right? There's always like the same fucking group of like Russian people going into your chat, dude. It's fucking crazy, dude. You get numbers. You get fucking numbers, dude.
You talked about him earlier in the thing, but he's a remarkable streamer. Like I used to watch him, and as a guy who's like kind of like sick of K3, I would watch his streams all the time. Redire.
He was like super chill, right? Like the whole time.
He would like blaze through shit, and like even when like the biggest hunk of shit RNG would slap him in the face, that dude just took it like a fucking champ.
Like, okay.
Yeah,
That's true. He was one of the only people who used to do that.
It's like, dude, man, like it's a shame that he kind of dropped off. Maybe he has IRL things going on, but yeah, I do miss his streams.
But like the thing with K3 and like Boshi, it's a lot more fun to watch like a blind playthrough of someone grinding a boss. You can get a lot more invested in the grind than watching someone grind, I don't know, like a fucking high difficulty needle screen. Just a lot more boring compared to an interesting
on the
boss.
boss. I mean, you see a guy in like the piano or the kernel room. You know that guy's going to be there for like a day or two. It's like we're not getting out of here anytime soon, so I'm not really going to watch it. But when on the other fights, I would agree with you. Yeah, you know the guy could get out of here like at any time. It's like achievable and a reasonable amount of effort. But even the boss rushes, they just kill those games when you're watching someone on their first playthrough grind them out.
Yeah. It's definitely a big stopping point.
Yeah,
but it's like with bot.
I
That's
think
why
that's
we had a
interesting.
needle rush in Cultured One.
Exactly. Exactly. I think that's exactly why we did it.
That's
The
like
boss rush thing is just it's a drag.
from a I feel like from a theoretical standpoint, the boss rush being the difficulty spike that it is, like it's an absolutely abysmal decision from every angle except entertainment. And like not
Right.
entertainment, but like I mean because it's like not really fun to watch the grind, but it's like I don't know, there's like a thrill to it.
Well, you like to watch people punish themselves. You know, that's why I watch Para play anything.
Yeah.
Brewers.
That's why people watch in general.
That's Jump King. Yeah,
That's
true.
Jump King.
But yeah, no, I actually have some examples of like people who came from other communities. Like fucking, I think, I feel like a lot of people have come from, well, not a lot, but like some people have come through like bigger streamers like Admiral Bulldog or like B-Rex, fucking Bisnap, and
Yeah, sure.
yeah, I remember that pair was like the fucking the what do you call it? Like the guy who was like recommending the fucking
liaison.
I don't know. It was like a fucking
Bulldog still plays fan games on.
Yeah.
I didn't
But
fucking
he
see
does
that every day.
But he does it with like the media, whatever the hell thing it's called,
Yeah,
media
yeah.
share.
It's so
Because
awful.
And he has to do that because he's grinding these fucking needle games, which I guess he likes playing. He you know, I've seen him play like some of Wolfie's games and stuff. He plays needle games, but he'll like have to have that on the side because like that gameplay at its core is just not entertaining on its own to watch unless you're talking a lot about, you know, other stuff.
He was playing a Nada game the other day.
He plays
Oh,
fucking,
yeah.
he played like fucking, he plays needle games like a lot of the time, like my games, fucking Arse games. I think Skull games as well.
He's like doing
you
what I
don't
was with stream on the side, but he's actually just streaming it with his own 30-second clip garbage.
Yeah. I mean, if you can't do just chatting, like like Para said, just if you're playing Needle, you have to be like just talking about something. It has to be basically like a podcast.
I've actually been thinking of starting a stream up recently where I play Needle inside of a hot tub.
Woo! Let's fucking go, baby.
I'd want.
I would watch it. I won't lie. I'd be there. Fucking hand on cocktail type shit.
Are you the one recommending to Bulldog these games that he's playing, or does he just find them from like a list?
No, he's finding them on when B Rex plays a game, it's usually because I tell him it's like okay and it's safe to play on stream. It's because we have a lot of the same taste in games, and I know as a streamer, if you're gonna play a fan game, you want it to be something that's got like a decent amount of length to it, so you're not like scrambling for something else to play in 20 minutes. The music is safe, you know, the game is stream entertainment. It's like trap games are like fucking goldmine, like for all streamers. Like, we can't have enough funny trap games.
Yeah. I see.
You remember the time when fucking Master Maxify's video clear got into fucking live stream fails, bro? Have you seen that shit?
Oh yeah. Pretty big.
That actually racked some people's interest. One motherfucker actually went to a new stream.
Yeah.
You never saw him again, but like he exists.
Yeah, he's gone, dude.
He was like, "Hey, bro, what the fuck's
him?"
Yeah. He was like, "Where the fuck's my Mushi's the fucking link?" And that was it. That was the end of it.
I don't know what his situation is, but the day that was on LSF, he should have started streaming every day,
Right.
all day for like a week.
It's a
16
shame.
hours.
That is such a rare opportunity to have like that kind of exposure, and to just go into hiding afterwards.
Okay, Para,
it was really unfortunate timing.
We're gonna need you to beat avoidance as difficult with no issue and get hype on LSF. Okay, so
Yeah.
can you get working on that? Like,
LSF is a shithole. It's just the same. It's
On a hot
deteriorating into the
tub.
same like. It's the same like 10 people on there reacting to each other now. But every now and then
Yeah.
you do get like a rare gameplay clip, like what happened with him. And like
Which
once
is
again, like
insane. Which is insane.
it's how people find the community. They watch
Yeah.
somebody else somewhere playing a game, and then they get interested. I mean, it's very interesting once you see it. You just have to see it. But like for people to want to broadcast it, it's got to be something that people would want to watch.
Yeah,
I
people are
do
saying
think that that's like
Yeah,
that's
sorry.
something interesting with you're talking about 10 the same 10 people reacting to each other. I feel like that's just like when did it happen to Twitch? Like there was at one point kind of reaction content was kind of
That's
starting to go
that
off
was
on
a fucking
YouTube.
that was the
And
just chatting meta that happened like fucking like what
Yeah.
2018
when it
2019.
happened, like
Yeah,
people
2
started
years ago.
complaining about it, and then it somehow went to Twitch. But I feel like basically every big streamer does it, so they don't call each other out on it.
It's
Well,
the easiest way.
Well, what
out.
happens is these guys are all friends with each other, and then they all react to each other, and then all their viewers will go rush to LSF to post their clips, and then it's a self-perpetuating cycle of these same like 10 guys having all their viewers promote. Like if the Fangame community had a brigade of LSF posters, people who would like actually post on there when something stupid happened, then but there's just no oxygen over there for anything except watching XQC react to Ms. Kiff, reacting to
Yes.
Validity,
Right.
reacting to Asmongold hot take on fucking Nymph's fucking it's the same, like it's like 12 people reacting to each other and their hot takes. And
Maybe
none of
we
it's
need
none of it's
fan game
particularly interesting.
reacts.
Well, we have that,
Like-
don't we? Just
Like
you gotta post
well,
it.
well, it would be like you like okay, let me see every good clear of the past year and just pog facing all of them, and then
I mean,
what?
Fuck you,
the
no.
two popular clips were like the casual clear of last EIS and Mayamushi, and those were both posted to LSF by the same person.
Hmm.
Yeah. Last TIS didn't get as much attention, but like my Mushi's clear, bro,
The person
reached the
deleted the post or
10Ks, dude. It reached. Not only did it reach the 10Ks, it had like 98% upvote rate or whatever the fuck. That is unheard of in LSF. Unheard of.
It's because the main difference between Max's clip and Casual's clip is that Max had a face cam. At least that's what I think. 'cause it's just
yeah.
It's a reaction. You want to see someone lose their shit. You want to see it with your eyes.
Exactly.
Speaking of reactions, even though it's not on a camera,
True,
and
it was on
he hasn't
Twitch's
been
too.
around for a while, I would like to give a little shout out to Bootstrap.
Truers, dude.
Everybody loves Bootstrap.
I used to watch this man's streams like late night when I couldn't
Me
fall
too.
asleep and stuff. He's running fucking
Neosis.
Butterfly or an Oasis or like just hardest shit ever. And he had the greatest ASMR keyboard clicks too, because he used that like
Yeah, he always has
played
like
a
those
laptop
one-liners as well.
keyboard or something.
He like plays on this room in a library or something.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Yeah,
he
and
does.
like he talks with the guard and shit. It's like he's just chilling there.
And his speeches at the end of fan game marathons are just amazing. And his runs, he's just such a good guy. Shout out to Bootstrap. That's
Very
all.
wholesome.
I agree.
Yeah,
That is
Good
beautiful.
guy.
He's out there on the fucking college life now, unfortunately, but it is what it is.
He's a brain man.
He's a brain, dude. He's actually
He's a floating brain with an amazing ability to play really hard games.
Oh my fucking god.
He's a brain man. His backstory is insane, dude.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the piss tournament?
Oh,
Did you say
true.
Piss tournament?
Yeah, it had like a competition of how high their piss could go or something
Oh
at some point. Yeah, this guy is no joke.
he just went up another level. What do you think, Para?
I think
I
that's
have a lot.
wholesome.
I have a lot of questions about this.
I think that's wholesome. I won't lie.
I've got a lot of questions and a lot of
Do
respect.
you like fluff yourself into a boner before you start going? Like is there rules to that? Do you have to be like?
I
classy?
don't know. Dude, this is one day. Apparently, it wasn't the best one. One of his like friends was like he could do it like 90 degrees into his face or some shit.
Wow.
Impressive.
What?
Yeah, what?
Impressive,
What?
dude.
Just grips it and rips it. 90 degrees into his face? How, like, what is
I
that? Like
in a contest, you're not shooting at your face, right? I mean,
that sounds terrible.
I
What's
picture like
going on?
I picture you're like on like a track, right? Like like track and field. Like there's like lanes, and you're in your lane, and
It's like the long jump or something. You know,
right,
you mark
right,
it by
right.
how
Like
far you
sand
hit
or
the
something.
sand.
Yeah, That's-
Wow.
I did not hear about this lore.
Did he win?
Yeah,
That's a
this is-
fucking
Is he
millionaire
a
question,
piss
dude.
winner?
I'm not sure. He just talked about this one day randomly. It was really funny.
This is amazing.
Oh my god, fuck it.
I never knew. Well,
He's
anyway,
Japanese,
shout out to
right?
Bootstrap.
Or is he
He's Chinese. He's Chinese.
Yeah,
He's
shout out.
Chinese.
Chinese?
Yeah.
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 That's something you'd hear in China. I believe.
Yeah.
If you
Piss
did that in
competition.
America, you would be like arrested and have to go to counseling and then register as an offender.
You got 90 days on the books.
I don't know, bro. I feel like in Brazil bathrooms, I think that's a common occurrence, but what
Just
the fuck
pee
going on?
everywhere. Just
Classic.
Just fucking pee competitions, bro. And
The
anyways,
podcast got to the good parts.
anyways.
anyways.
Let's not end it on this.
Oh yeah.
Are we taking viewer questions? Someone
Yeah,
asked. Some people have asked.
Yeah, if people are here for like the final remarks and you
We'll
got
make it
questions
quick
for
then.
the funny men.
It's almost
Well, we have
4:20. I got things to do, you know.
We can. This topic might take too long.
Yeah,
It's about
yeah.
PUBG. It's about
Let's-
PUBG.
It's
Oh,
a
that was
fun
it.
topic.
Hit it.
I mean,
Well, you can take it away later.
motherfucker, dude. Well, no.
Well, it just says if we have time, talk about the PUBG era, Kitty Powers era, and then the battle royale genre in general. There you go.
There's a lot of different things.
That,
Yeah.
there's a lot of different things. I
Well,
will,
PUBG.
no, yeah, I will say that like Paris' transition into like fucking variety shit was like actual genius. To go from fucking like Fangames
Really?
onto like something like Kitty Powers, that shit is fucking
Like,
art, dude.
You say it's genius, but like you lose like 80% of your viewers. You gotta be like,
No, your Kitty Power stream's fucking banged, bro.
yeah. I'm just. I mean, this
True,
goes back
true.
to where we started the street. Like, I kind of wish that like some of the other wannabe streamers would stream the other games that they play, but they don't. But like
Yeah.
that transition to like not box yourself into one thing is very hard to do on Twitch. But if you got your check mark, fuck it. I mean, they're not gonna. That's what I said. Like, if you go back,
Right.
you go play like some RPG and you get like 8 viewers. When you go back and play fan games, those guys are still gonna be there. Like, they're all gonna come back and watch your fan game.
Yeah,
But, like,
that's like for me, that's like it's really hard to understand that because I still just feel like if I stream something else, they're not going to be there. But obviously, that's not true. It's just hard to get past that. I think that's the main issue for most people.
It took Para years to do that too.
Yeah, I mean,
you know.
I just came to grips with it's like, look, I'm not gonna be air quotes big time. Like, I'm never gonna be able to like quit my job to stream, and I don't think I
Right.
would even want to do that anyway. So like, I got my check mark. Like, let's just have fun. If people want to watch, they'll watch. If not, whatever. I don't know, but it's like these guys are entertaining, and they have good personalities, but they just want to only stream their fan games, and it's like I kind of wish they would do other things, but I understand why people don't do it. It's hard, and you do sometimes you lose followers. You do. Guys like he's playing something that's not a fan game. Fuck this guy. He's done. Like, bro, I'll play one next time one comes out. Give me a fucking break. Rasik asked me, in your opinion, what makes a trap game good? What are the things to avoid when making? Well, interesting traps helps. Like if you're just throwing spikes at people, that's kind of boring. The traps where like it's a whole fucking cutscene of a guy getting launched into outer space and
I was
he's
gonna say the
getting on a
space launches.
satellite and then getting diarrhea on the satellite until he dehydrates guys. Like
And you blew up like half the fucking solar system.
like that shit is fucking funny. Like you like a trap game, you should want to like make the player laugh, but at the same time, you don't want it to be like you don't want it to get to the point where it's so hard that you can't. I don't like when people make trap games, but they make the platforming like really hard because it's like it's kind of
purpose.
yeah, like you want someone to play it and like laugh and smile. And
Isn't there a like an outer space launch where it hits the Metroid music?
I've been launched into outer space so many fucking times. That's like there was a game I
You're like,
played like
"Alright."
4 weeks ago where I got launched into outer space, and then
It's
there was
so
like
great.
it's like a thing up there, and it's a very slow motion thing of your guy like hitting a spike in space. It's like that shit is funny. I know that takes a lot of work to make a trap like that.
Or
Try
like
to make
giant spike traps.
yeah, like just try to be funny and come up with original stuff. That one the one thing in the bigger penis where the booby trap had to go get the Align to crush you was like fucking hysterical. Like stuff like that is great.
Look, you know, I haven't laughed to a trap like that in fucking years, dude. That's like really
Yeah,
good.
I played Arcana F Tarot. Final boss was a bit much for me. I did finish it, but the final boss wore me out.
Really nice.
PUBG was awesome, by the way.
Yeah, PUBG was the
You
shit.
know.
Dude, I have a lot of friends that actually talk to me about this. That like they fucking loved watching your fucking PUBG streams, bro. It was fucking crazy.
A lot of it is the interaction with other players, the voice chat, and that's why the crab game on it's like kind of going down that route as well. Like if you let players talk to each other and interact and shit talk each other, yeah, there's gonna be some racist shit blurted out, but like the shit talking and interaction is so fucking funny. And even when it has like nothing to do with me, like when I'm dead and I'm watching two guys negotiate who's gonna walk over a bridge first, it's like hilarious. So, yeah, I think that's the core of it. And the banter between us, like we spent a lot of time sitting in houses waiting.
We learned
Me
a
and
lot of
True,
things.
True.
We talk about movies and
Right.
dumb shit, and it's funny. I don't know.
mean, I have 3,000 hours in the game, so
Oh
even
my
if
fucking goodness.
even if it was really bad sometimes, it was a lot of fun. Especially the early days when like vehicles would collide and go to space, and you didn't know what was gonna happen. You'd fly across the map, but yeah, the interactions were amazing, and we had some fun with randos a lot too.
Oh my god.
And we just had like just amazing clips generated from it, from interactions and bad moments, good moments. You know, at one point I had to take an emergency shit.
The famous story, the shitting story.
Have you
Oh,
have you all
baby.
heard this? Have you heard this, Nader?
I don't think I have, no.
So we were on a desert map and we're in the middle of a city. We got done fighting maybe one group, and I was like, "Uh-oh, the bathroom calls. Like this is an emergency, right?"
Okay.
And I'm like, "Para, get the truck, come get me."
Sit this guy in the back of a truck while he's AFK shitting. Right.
We had a rando with us too. So I get in the truck and I'm like, I'll be back. I don't know when, but I gotta go.
So he's on the toilet with his phone watching the stream to see what happens to his life while he's shitting, and it did not go well.
Oh no, did the rando
What
fucking
happened,
kill him or
Para?
some shit?
We were driving, and with this rando guy.
Hang on, we were driving or you were driving?
I was driving with other
Thank
people,
you.
so I say we. We were in a car. I was driving. He's shitting in the back seat, and we were driving across the desert, and we got attacked, and somebody got one of my tires out, and car like flipped over and went off a cliff. We all jumped out, and Jester's in the back shitting. He's watching himself on the toilet on the stream fly off a cliff into a ravine and burn to death, and he won't fucking let me live it up.
That was a shitty death.
Para also killed me in a bathroom one time.
A lot of accidental team kills. We want to talk about peace.
Oh my
We're gonna get peace in here. We took Piece of Cheese to
We
play
can talk about
PUBG.
peace.
Piece of Cheese's first day in PUBG, first time playing like a competitive online game. We were in a big fight. Piece is outside around like the back of this garage. We get in a big fight.
Wasn't he on like his toaster of a PC too?
Yeah,
or something?
yeah. He's on a shitty PC and his chair's got the arm falling off.
Oh,
He's
right,
like,
yeah. He's like, I'm falling off my chair.
we get ambushed. We barely win. Everyone's like on their hands and knees. I got like one guy rezzing, and a piece comes in late wearing a gas mask. He kicks the door in, shoots everybody to death. Like the whole. He just came in like guns blazing. I was like, "Oh, Peace is here," and then he just murdered everybody. We call it the sickness.
Oh my lord.
He just saw people, and he just started shooting, killed everybody. And one time was in the backseat of a car with a machete, and we were driving, and he wanted to see if you could swing the machete while you're in the car, and he didn't tell anyone, and he decapitated the driver, and everybody fucking died. And the whole thing.
Oh my god. Well, what about the time when Andres played with you guys?
Oh, Andres.
Andres would just walk up to guys and go, "Hola!" and then we'd fucking kill him.
Oh no.
I like Andres. Andres plays crab game with me now. Sneaks in there and he doesn't say anything, but we try to murder people.
PUBG also created a verb, actually. Called looning.
You're looning. Fucking looning.
Baby.
This looning is when you, well, a synonym has been freelancing. Someone else said freelancing,
right?
But looning is when you're like off on your own, not with the group, doing things you're not supposed to be doing.
Oh,
going
baby.
in for no particular reason except that you're blazed or drunk, and then you die. And then the whole team has to come to try to save your life, and then they all die because you were off on your. It's looning. You're just off on your own doing things you're not supposed to be doing.
Bro, Jestre, us in Overwatch, dude, I'm gonna fucking use that. I'm telling you right now.
Listen, Skull, and listen later. You better watch your mouths.
Oh, fucking baby. That's fucking hilarious.
You can't loon that far. Can't loon
I
that
didn't
far
bring
in
it up for no
Overwatch.
reason, you know.
Yeah, I know.
PUBG, when he loons, he's like 2 kilometers away, and you're like, why are you over there? In Overwatch, I guess the guy's like a block down the road.
Any looners in chat? Yeah,
That's fucking
right
hilarious.
here. I have my own emote.
That's the look on your face when you're not where you're supposed to be. And we're trying to talk. You're trying to talk sense into somebody who not having it.
Yeah, that's
He's got the sickness.
the sickness.
Oh, fuck.
PUBG was a glorious time. We had a lot of fights with each other.
Brought Geezer's dark side out.
Geezer's dark side.
Everybody thinks Geezer's a nice guy, so you got him in a lobby getting his asshole eaten out by 20 guys.
I shared that with some people recently. Anuj knows.
I know.
You have to show the side, every side of every person, because no one expects the evil geezer.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was such a
It's
great
very
time. Just because it was like it was something like, we played H1Z1 way back when too, and voice chat was amazing then, and your interactions were.
What were you there
ridiculous.
for H1Z1, Jestre?
I actually was, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I always wondered about that.
Yeah,
H1Z1 wasn't about the BR mode. It was about the basic mode where you would log on.
Survival.
You would meet a stranger on like the side of a road, and like you'd have to lie to this person or manipulate them or become friends with them for the night,
and then shoot them in the head.
And then shoot them in the head when they weren't looking. You learn all about a man and then kill him. It's the American way.
That's the life. That's the life.
But yeah, that kind of gameplay is always amazing,
Yeah, games with open voice chat where you get to interact with people just in general are very entertaining. Like, you're seeing a lot of companies move away from that, which is unfortunate. The new Battlefield cut that, and I know some of the other new games cut that. So that's why a game like Crab Game is so entertaining. And without those interactions with the other people, it would be boring to watch. But the hilarity of people yelling at each other and negotiating, and
I'll say too, with PUBG, like, the winning was almost always amazing.
Oh yeah, I could feel the
tension.
I could feel the tension every time.
Not to bring up, but like Dr. Disrespect, right? The one thing he said that PUBG had going for it, and the reason it was successful, and I believe it, is it told a story, right? Like, as you play it, and 100%, that's the way it goes. Like, oh, we lost a guy in this town. Oh, we had to, drive these cars over the desert and get here and watch out for the bombs. And
PUBG games fucking lasted long as shit, right? Like 30 minutes or some shit.
Yeah. Are you aware that Jesterloon is the one who made Dr. Disrespect quit PUBG on his last day?
There's no fucking way. You're trolling.
That's actually true.
It's actually true.
No way.
I used to have clips for it.
It was the day. It was like the day. It was like the day that the the Call of Duty BR came out, not the Warzone one, the one
Wait, was
before
it?
that.
Oh, the first one. Yeah, what was it
Yeah.
called?
So
Yeah,
so so it was
Black
like
Ops 2.
he's like on PUBG for the first half of the day, waiting for that to come out to try it.
I was homesick actually just kind of
And
chilling
they're
with
in
it.
they're in the jungle in Sandhawk, Doctor Disrespect, and who's in the area? Jestre loot. And Doc's going on his killing spree with an AK, killing like 20 people. And Jester, just hearing a guy shooting an AK for like 10 minutes straight, just comes over and kills him. And Doc fucking popped on stream. Went through the replay,
my
called Jester a
God.
fucking like piece of shit. What is this guy, a literal gaming god? I don't think so. And like fucking then quit the game, uninstalled, and went on
He
to play.
goes,
Jester,
He goes,
don't
"I
you
heard him."
fucking Jester,
What?
don't you fucking love Doctor? Isn't that like fucking crazy, dude?
I thought it was pretty.
This is great lore. This is amazing.
He
This
goes-
is fantastic.
He goes, "I heard the guy across the street with the SKS. There's no way." He hits this shot and he like pounds his desk. He walks off camera. He comes back. He's like, "You fucking." He popped so hard.
Oh, that's fucking.
It's funny to
hilarious.
me that this has happened like twice. There's a similar situation like in around the Fangame. I don't know if you guys remember Electric, the guy who made Electric
Okay,
and shit
Yeah.
like
Oh
that.
yes.
Yeah, that guy. He had his fucking era where he was playing Fortnite. He was trying to like be professional, and he killed Myth while he was streaming. I think
No, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
he fucking rolled him. It was actually insane.
Yeah.
We would run into some big streamers in PUBG. I
Yeah.
got killed by Deadmau5 once.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was in a duo game. It was like my partner was dead. I forgot if it was you or Frest who was with me, but it was Deadmau5 and Halifax or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was by myself, and they were shooting at me, and I got in a car to get away, and the tires were shot out on the car like before I got in it. 'Cause Deadmau5 had like shot the tires, and I got shot, and they were like, just like, sucks to be that guy on their stream, and I was like, fuck.
Although
we-
we would
we-
all say the same shit, you know.
We fought like Wacky Jackie, and I killed Halifax once when the desert map came out. I ran into him on the side of the road with all of his boys, but I also got killed by Shroud and his boys once too.
Wow.
We got killed by Shroud. Yeah.
Impressive.
Yeah,
We fought them on the jungle.
Sandhawk. Yeah,
They deleted us quickly.
that was. Well, you could see them in the kill feed just killing everybody, and like you knew like sooner or later they were coming for you. And when they came, man, it was the guy was like jumping off the roof, 360,
Yeah.
fucking no. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't even know what happened. I was just gone. But yeah, it was
There was an
the-
amazing site. What was the name called?
a PUBG report.
PUBG report. Explain it.
Whenever you killed a streamer, the site would collect the data from that stream and clip the fight you had where that guy died. So at the end of a day, you could
Oh,
type
my
in your
Lord.
username on this website, and it would show you every streamer that you killed. So we used to like watch.
Amazing.
You go watch people reacting to fighting you, and it was like Frest and Jester would kill like women all the time. Frest killed
Jesus.
Frest killed her name is Learn. She's like a big streamer. I think she was Shroud's girlfriend for a while. I don't know if they're still together.
No.
And he said that he was thirsting like a bitch, and every time he killed someone, the girl streamer would call him a bitch. So it's like a theme. He's very bitch-like in his gameplay. But yeah, I mean, this is amazing.
The fucking
was
PUBG
fantastic.
era was fucking juiced up, dude. Holy fuck. I didn't know about all this fucking streamer v streamer
it's like-
interaction, dude.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, I mean, it was just like the content creation from it is huge. Like you got clips every night.
It's also the matchmaking wasn't like segregated, so like you could, you know, like
Right.
some games it's regional, like like I can only fight guys in NA East because I'm NA East. But in that game, you queue up, you could fight anybody anywhere. So it
But-
didn't matter
Wow.
where the streamer was. You could be in a game with them.
We did run into a legend by the name of Old Iron Tits.
It's
What the
This
fuck, bro?
guy was in so many of our games and was always a killer. I think I put him out of his misery one game, and that was the last we saw of him too.
this guy was like a year in our games in PUBG. We would see him like a couple nights a week. Old Iron
And
Tits.
we were like, holy shit, it's Old Iron Tits! Look out!
One night we saw him in the
Jesus
kill
fucking
feed in the
Christ.
jungle, tracked him down and got him, and that was like the end of him. I think he quit.
Oh man, yeah, it was an amazing era of fun. I wish the game didn't crash and burn on its own.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of bad things about PUBG's
You
history.
know.
Like fucking, they took off the fucking team chat or whatever the fuck, or not team chat, all chat.
Lobby chat.
Yeah,
Lobby chat was amazing. I have the ball gargling
that was
montage.
content. That was content. Holy
Yeah.
fuck. And then all the fucking crashing and I think cheating and shit. And then you guys went to fucking Warzone. And how was that fucking transition? Like I'd assume that, like, you know, Warzone would be like this fucking insane upgrade over PUBG, but like
No.
In some ways it was, but the gameplay was very different. But it did have the death mic where you kill a guy.
I love
and
that.
You get
I love
you get like
that.
3 seconds of him reacting to getting killed by you, and that is some funny shit.
We get a lot of squealers, a lot of screechers, a lot of.
Yeah, you ever see like fucking the top streamers like Tim the Tatman or Dr. Disrespect
Right.
just fucking like kill a motherfucker and they say things that are like scripted because they know the death mic is gonna come on. It's like fucking genius. Like, yeah, Tim, you're fucking fat, bro. Okay.
You're fat, you're fat, you're fat, you're fat. It's like, okay, dude.
Oh my fucking god.
So, well, Jestre killed a guy. Remember that guy you killed in Warzone? You smashed him with the shield in the middle of the street, and he goes, "I hope your mother overdoses before the microphone."
Jesus.
It was kind of
Oh
fucked
my
up.
god!
It was like, what, bro?
That was pretty
Fucking hell.
extreme. I mean, I guess I had it coming. I did smash his face with a shield in the street. Like, I didn't use a
Whoa.
gun. You know, it was kind of dirty, but that's a hell of a comment. I hope your mom ODs. Like, damn, man. Okay.
In my Discord, I have a clips channel, and like if you scroll way up in it, there's probably they were just clipping every rageful thing someone would say after we killed him, and there's probably like hours of people just
my
blurting out.
fucking God.
Oh, yeah. Just being terribly upset. Oh, man.
It was a fucking gold mine, I imagine.
I'll say, like, either way, if there's some sort of game like that with open chat it at any point and some, you know, first player shooting, I think Pear and I find a way to have a lot of fun with it for the most part. You know?
Yeah. For now, it's just crab game is gonna have to for that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, imagine if Fall Guys had voice chat. How good that would be. They're scared.
That would be amazing.
Rightly so. I understand why they're scared because they're trying to be family friendly, and it certainly would not be. There's a lot of children playing that game. You want to hear like some
Right.
8-year-old screaming as you like kick them into a pit and laugh at them like,
Yeah, I
Classic.
hear that.
It would be amazing though if it did have voice.
Just forget it on fucking crab game, dude. That shit is content, dude.
I kind of did it one night.
did it one night.
Sporadically, and I yelled at some people, and
Yes.
Were you drunk that night?
oh,
You sounded like you were gone, dude.
I was gone-ers.
Oh, I could tell. It was funny.
Oh yeah.
Oh my fucking
I might play it today before I head out. I don't know. It's an easy game to just hop into and just have fun.
It's fun, yeah. Bro, could you fucking imagine if Overwatch had fucking all chat, dude? Oh
Well,
my
Blizzard
fucking God.
doesn't do that in any of their games because they know what would happen.
Yeah.
I mean, if they had that in Hearthstone, even I would have been banned.
Oh my god. The amount of times that
Piece of shit.
the amount of times of people who fucking went out of their way to like invite or, you know, like friend request you just to like fucking talk shit back, dude, after the game.
Of course, yeah.
Classic
Oh, hello,
Blizzard,
friend.
man.
You're garbage. You're trash. You're
Fucking
worse
dog
than-
shit, bro. Quit the game, uninstall, dude. Alright, bro. Alright.
Maybe
Go next.
with chess popping off on Twitch. That's the next meta. Someone make like a website which it's literally just chess with voice chat.
I think one of the chess websites actually does have voice chat, but like nobody fucking uses it because they're all fucking nerds and they know it, dude. Myself included. All right. Well, I guess that's a wrap. I think fucking 2 hours and 35.
And that was
Would
good.
you look at that, dude?
Not bad. Not bad.
And see, in Jestre, you're not fucking molding, dude. I told you.
It's true.
It's true.
But yeah,
Well, thank you for having me. It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Just hanging out, chilling.
you know, I'm glad that you that both of you guys took the invite. Well, Jester fucking like one night we were playing Overwatch and we were like, dude, what if we got like the Omega Boomers, dude? And then
Wow.
and then it
Jesus
was,
Christ.
Wow.
and then it was content, dude. Jester was like fucking Bro, that should fucking happen. Zora actually was intending to come here, but he couldn't have because
He
he has
couldn't make
a
it,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's how with his friends. But no, I'm happy that you guys joined up. And I hope you guys
I
enjoyed
would,
it.
That was
I
pretty
would,
good.
yeah, I would do it again.
Ah, really?
Yeah,
That's
it's
nice.
fun. It's fun. It's fun.
All right. Well, I guess do you guys have any last I guess remarks or anything? Any?
Nah, I mean, I'm live every day. Everybody knows where to find me. It's hard not to find me. So just if you want to come say hi, you know where I'm at.
fucking crab game, etc.
My final words are: if you would like to find me, I will fight you at ESA.
Whoa.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, I'm fighting Jestre at ESA as well.
I've got a lot of fights lined
He's
up.
got a fucking
and-
list, bro.
Just don't share a Just don't share a bathroom with this guy. I've heard stories.
Oh
Hey,
no.
easy.
Oh, no.
Save that for next time. There's your
We'll save
cliffhanger.
it for next time.
Oh my fucking goodness.
All right, have a good one, everybody.
All right,
Thanks.
well, thank you guys for watching, and hope you guys enjoyed your stay on this podcast. I sure had a lot of fun times.
Yeah, same.
We will see you guys. Actually, no, I don't know. Whatever, I don't give a shit. We'll see you guys next time. Later, boys.
All right, man. Thanks.
Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye.